Click and clack down the track. Welcome to another episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast, everybody.
Welcome to the Pro Crastinators podcast, where we decide if the Pro Crastinators podcast will be slaughtered or salvaged.
Yeah. Don't you guys just hate it when you're crying while masturbating with your fucking claw hand that you've accumulated from just jacking off 3 times plus a day, thinking
rough,
about your
man.
various classmates because they've worn a nerd girl t-shirt once? I do that all the time, and it just sucks. Come on, hand, can't you keep up with the heat? If you can't keep up with the heat, get out of the kitchen. Cyborg hands for jack off 2. Classmates go now 2.
Hey, you know, I read this book by Jordan Peterson. I don't like the Jews either. That's why
Who are you quoting?
Who is this?
That's
This is
PewDiePie.
not-
That's obviously PewDiePie.
Right.
Okay. You're a master of
could I even
speech.
be more
That's all I'll
obvious?
say, is that you're a master of linguists and you're a master of
that's
impersonation.
Got it.
Hey,
Got it.
how you say it is me, PewDiePie, haha, Profius.
Swedish. It's a Swedish accent. He's Swedish, right?
Yeah, but he's not like his
He's
accent
not-
is
doing-
ebbed.
So he
You were
sounds
doing an
exactly
Italian
like the
accent.
Swiss
Yeah.
chef. No, I wasn't. I was doing the Swiss chef accent.
Well, okay, as you can see, everybody, we got everybody here. We got PewDiePie here. We got
God,
pan
intros
pizza.
are so better. Intros are so better. I hate the cold intros. I love these valuable, like, productive intros we have.
I mean, I agree. But just for the sake of information, me, Bestie Boy is here, Hippocrit, Mage, Munchie Ben. There you go. That's who's here. All right, moving along. What's up, guys? You like caramel dancing or what? Are we gonna caramel dancing or what? in
I've
here?
been caramel
whoa.
dancing constantly. Honestly,
whoa.
been listening to it constantly.
I was just saying to Munchie before we started that Munchie is he literally embodies the soul, the departed spirit of the 2006 anime con goer.
It's the
That
nicest
is
thing
who
anyone's
Munchie
ever
is.
said to me. Nicest thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a good
Ben
time.
and I would both know.
It
We were there.
It was a special time in a boy's life.
We were ground zero.
I
glomped?
Imagine me in my Disgaea cosplay at Anime Boston 2000.
What's that guy's name?
I
Seraph something?
He was the Seraph.
He was the angel leader
That
guy,
might
but I
have just
can't
been
remember
his title.
name.
Was the Seraph? His name was Master something. He had kind of like an English or a Swedish sounding name or something something.
I'm gonna
son.
find this right now.
Master something son.
Lamington?
Master Lamington. That's it. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
it.
got
That's
it.
it.
Flan's boss.
Imagine
right,
me
right.
in my Master Lamington Disgaea cosplay at Anime Boston 2006 at a Freeze Pop concert, and that's
Glomping
Whoa.
hard
Nice.
to freeze pop on the dance floor.
yeah.
Just
You know, I
doing the
still
glomp.
have a special place in my heart for Freeze Pop.
they're
Boston-based
good.
band, as it so happens. Didn't even know that at the
Oh.
time, but it's true.
Me neither.
You have a connection to one of the PCP Pimmers with a Blankets concert at MA Boston, right? Question mark?
The
Is
fuck
that
are you?
you?
What the
You're
fuck are
talking
you
about the
talking
pillows, my dude. You're talking about the
About?
pillows.
The
pillow.
blanket.
Sorry, I don't know.
I'll unload a fucking blank in your skull.
Yeah. Wait,
right,
that won't be
right,
a problem.
correct?
Be a real wet blanket.
yeah.
If you were to do
Hey,
that.
Munchie, recently I saw you did a little animation of Lateralist of Rowdy Fuckers Cop Killers fame doing a funny dance that was similar to the caramel dancing. I just wanted to ask you, why? What'd you do? Why did you think of that?
Well, the reason I did that is twofold. Number one, I'm animating on the side now. Wow, guys! Exclamation point! Stop. Also, I'm doing another thing that features Lateralist Heavy that I'm not going to speak about. Don't get your hopes up. Question mark.
Are you talking about
Lateralist
lateralist heavy, like TF2 heavy, like
Yeah.
big
Oh.
donut sandwich eating
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of thing going on?
Oh yeah. Believe me.
Okay.
he eats his
Lateralist
sandwiches all
heavy.
the time.
Ephraim Scout. Sixton Pyro. The list goes on.
That's a
wait, what's his
terrible
face would be
lineup.
Spy?
We already
What's
have
his-
the lineup. We
Uh,
already have them.
Gabe is
Can-Man
Tracer.
Spy, right?
No, okay. Here's how it go. Crocs is heavy. I
Fair.
don't know the rest.
There you go.
Okay.
It's not that easy,
All right.
is it?
But anyway,
That's all there is to say.
why do you ask? Just want to know what's going on, Hippo?
No, I just thought it was a really nice little gif, and yeah,
I actually-
if you're doing animation on the side,
Hey,
it's like
link it in the show notes.
Cool.
Let me see. I haven't seen it.
Okay, do that. It's in RFCK, but
we'll
also,
I'd like to see it as
speaking
well.
of nice little animations, there's on the Give and Take channel, there was those 2 combined little snippets of animation
Indeed.
from the upcoming, what is it, reanimating project of fuck. Well, it's called #Rise Up. Is that the name of the show? I think that's what it was, right?
Hashtag stand against.
What, Nate? Are you looking at YouTube or are you looking at Ben Saint's leftist Twitter feed?
Yeah, I might have confused the two. Sorry, Gib, please extrapolate.
It was like a little animation.
Oh my
thing
god, 43 notifications.
From the Homestuck Collide reanimation
My favorite
project.
Flash. Our favorite Flash.
Yeah,
I'm fond of it, rather.
I'm not like that big a fan of the Flash for story reasons, but parts of it are really cool, and the music is pretty good. And
there's numerous reasons to do it outside of the Flash itself.
I'm happy to be like involved in a big collaborative project.
Mm-hmm.
And
more so than ever, you've made Arm Retrieval canon to Homestuck.
Yes, that was my big goal, is to do one of the Vriska scenes.
I didn't think I needed any help with that.
Wait. Is this an official What Pumpkin project?
No. It's just like a fan who said, hey guys, let's reanimate Collide for the 10th anniversary of Homestuck.
But I mean, Hussey gave up all rights to artistic control over Homestuck a long time ago.
When I disagreed with the direction he took
exactly
the series
correct.
in.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah,
now the what is it? The lunatics are running the asylum, as it were.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, hey. Yeah, go on. Who's got something? I got things, but go on.
Okay. Well, I want to continue on what we were just talking about. So you started
that's a mistake
this,
right there. All right.
This animation kick, Hippo, and I know that you've also been animating other things. I don't know if you've said them on the show, ? But I don't want to dox you. You see.
Oh,
but I know that you've been in real.
I've mentioned that I'm working on the finale of Bale Jape. Mm-hmm. That is the animation I'm doing. And
what would you say?
You've been in a real fever. You've been in a real fever pitch for animating.
Yeah, I'm dreaming of in betweens at this point. I'm just thinking, yes, smooth and jumping and keyframe cool. I love it.
In betweens, the trans people of animation, my favorite.
Well, yeah, that literally transitioning from one keyframe to the other.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I again myself have been doing stuff on the side for personal reasons, and I just want to say that I kind of suspected this was the case, but like I feel like animation is like speaks to me on a more fundamental level than any art that I do. It really is something that it appeals to me, like just the busy work of doing in between frames and just animating. That is just an inherently fun process to me, to watch something come together and just to be able to kind of almost zone out in a way. Once you have your keyframes and you've done all the thinking hard work, then you can just fill it in. That's really, really fun.
You know what I think about that? This is something, because we recently finished all those big video projects, and I've gotten back to drawing more. I have been facing this prospect more and remembering the weird contradiction. I feel the same way about starting to draw, because like once you start drawing, it's fine. But I feel the same way about doing that as I feel about sleeping, and that it terrifies me because because I'm afraid.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid to turn my brain off. I'm like,
okay, that's a very different way.
Really? Okay.
Interrupting your consciousness.
Is this the whole like you don't know if you're the same person when you wake up sort of thing?
Not exact. It's not rational like that. It's just I don't want to do it, and I know when I start like. Munch, and Hippo and Mage, do you feel this way when you're thinking about maybe starting drawing and you're like, but I don't want to start that though, because then I'll like I don't know, I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is that makes me like.
I think I might know where you're coming from. It's like the prospect of like I think about this sometimes of like. Getting started with something means I know that if I get going, I will be doing it for a certain amount of time.
About
and I want
call an art block.
Mage, don't just jump in and interrupt the middle of a sentence.
Like the fuck.
Yeah, what were you saying?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Cool.
Yes,
Well, way to go, Mage.
Try
you really
harder.
blew that one.
I'm trying. it's one of those things where like I can't fucking think of the word. You know that thing where like you
Guys,
think
what
of
was
the
he
word
saying? We were all listening.
and
I was too busy yelling at Mage. I can't remember.
dude,
It's
this is a great
actually your
podcast.
fault.
Okay.
fair.
What was the question?
Ben, you feel like you don't want to start drawing. Is
Yeah.
that because you know that once you're in there, anything that comes along that could potentially interrupt you will piss you off more than it would otherwise would, and you don't know whether your future is going to be completely, devoid of interruptions, and you're like, I need to wait for the perfect time to start doing this thing that will take hours.
Yeah,
Is that sort of it?
that's part of
I know
it.
what you mean.
That's part of it. It's like oh, maybe I shouldn't do it now. It's not so much that I'm worried about being upset about being interrupted. It's just like, does this feel like the ideal moment to start on this? Am I in the perfect headspace to do this now? Maybe I should just wait. Maybe I should just wait, and a better
Ben,
time, a better opportunity will come along.
I'm
which
gonna
is
level with you.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna level with you. You got a pebble in your brain, and you got to drink some
He's
milk
got a
or
pebble
something
for
to
a
get rid of
brain,
it.
if anything.
What
Yeah.
what Munchie?
You gotta drink some carbonated
Bang.
soda to wash that down, some Bang to wash that down, because that's an extremely terrible mindset to have, and I have that too sometimes.
No,
where I just think, there's
I'm not saying this is right. I'm just saying
No,
this is
I
my
know.
problem. Yeah.
I feel
don't-
that way
And-
too
and-
sometimes.
and
Where
I-
I feel
and
like
I know,
it's,
I know that the way to fix it is to push through it more often. But because I wasn't drawing much for a while, now I've started doing it again. I've been facing this, and I know that the way to bust it is to keep doing it and keep resisting it.
Yeah.
And I'm still working through that for the time being. But it's getting better.
There's like
For a
I mean,
while, I was-
for me, it's like it's not that I feel like I should wait for a better time or like something's wrong and I should wait. It's really just that I don't want to do it because I'm lazy. And
It's partially that,
and
it's
like,
partially like
the things I usually
uncertainty,
do to get over
terror.
that initial thing is like have like a small ritual. If I'm like slightly hungry or like tired, I will, go downstairs, get a cup of tea or a small snack, eat that, drink that, while, like, I don't know, listening to something or reading Twitter or Discord. And once I'm done with the
Twitter?
eating, then I start the work and I drink the tea.
Okay, music makes me more productive. Because I don't
Definitely.
know, it definitely does, and yet I never listen to it. And it's just not something I do. When I do, the results are always
Some
Yeah.
people say
When-
that
when I
listening
do,
to
the
music
results are
actually
always
doesn't
good.
help.
Huh? Okay. Okay.
Lads, we got to talk over each other a little bit less here. we're getting all tangled up and jumbled.
this is particularly. I mean, we're all
Sorry,
interested.
I was okay.
No, that wasn't even directed at you, Mage.
Here's
that
my
wasn't
solution.
Even you.
I think Mage
Yeah.
needs to learn to interrupt better. Not
That wasn't
more,
even
but
her.
better.
I was trying to make a point because there are a lot of people like say, "Oh, mate shouldn't just say everyone guys, I have something to say." Mate should just go in and interrupt. I tried
Yes.
2 times, and you guys.
There's an art to this.
But you
There's an
gotta.
art to
You
it.
didn't. You said it while we were talking.
Yeah.
Here's okay. No, I'm gonna get into this. This is my strategy. Let's compare strategies on how to talk over each other. All right.
Okay.
But wait.
You guys don't
No.
pause. Where am I supposed to start talking?
Well, here's
You
well,
look for
here's-
strategic gaps
here's
in the
my-
armor.
here's my
That's
strategy.
What you do.
Here's my
like
strategy.
right there. I found one.
Yeah. So yeah, you wait for a strategic moment. You can do that. The way that I create a strategic moment, right? Because it's about creating. It's about creating opportunities. It's about it's about visualizing the future you want to see, and then the universe will bring it to you and create
Indeed.
it.
okay, here's the thing.
wait.
feel like
No,
I
no,
interrupt.
shit, that was a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
That was a
feel,
good
kinda.
one.
I feel like I interrupt properly when I say, "Guys, I have something to say." I usually try and find a moment.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think you're just better served by saying instead of saying those words, being like but, and then they will
Okay.
make space for you, and then you just launch into it.
My
no
strategy
preface.
is that if I'm trying to say something and someone else is talking and I want them to stop, I will begin the first word. I'll say the first
You
syllable.
piece of shit. This always
And I'll-
happens
People
to me.
feel the anticipation there.
Yeah, and I'll just and I'll And I'll keep doing that until the person speaking notices and it disrupts them, and then it will break, and then eventually they will.
It's a psychological
Why
battle.
do we do this? There's no time limit here.
It just lets the person speaking know that something is going to interrupt them, and they better just accept that.
Munchie, I'll tell you why.
On one hand, it's like if people are interrupting each other, that means they have things to say. Like just then,
correct.
Like all the other boys have a lot of things to say about this, and it's an interesting topic. However, it would be more easy to follow and more interesting if instead of like just spitting out, we actually like thought for even nary a millisecond to construct our point more.
Munchie, I'll tell you
and
my
have a more
reason.
complete sentence.
There's an elaborate series of reasons as to why that's done, and I'll tell you the biggest one. One is that the conversation, if you don't seize the moment when you have something to say, could just move on, and then your thought will no longer be appropriate. And the other real thought I have is I will literally just forget what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like, actually, right now, for the last, 5 minutes, I have had a thought on my frontal cortex waiting to be ejaculated into the conversation, and I'm waiting for a lull to go back to a thing to say it, and I could lose it at any moment. It's a precarious balance, and my psyche could be disrupted.
You fucking moron. Also,
well, but then you get the. Is this good for you, Munchie? Is this what you want? Is this what you like to hear?
Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Hey, can you hear this gun shooting your head? Thought not. Thought not. Got a silencer on it.
A pen and pencil might actually be the solution, or like a pen and paper.
Oh wow! Munchie solves world hunger yet again, just to snatch it away from
pen
the
and
youth.
paper tabletop RPG dungeon crawl.
That would be the
with the
one.
PCP bonus
Hey,
episode.
This
my
isn't
point.
a race. Is all I'm trying to say. We can
Yeah.
all say everything we want, and this isn't me,
Sure.
an anti-conversationalist. I'm just saying.
You're not
it's
accepting the
easy.
full
It's not
reality
even
of the
hard.
battleground that any given conversation truly
No other
is.
podcast is like this.
No, I'm saying that, by saying that there's no time limit, that's ignoring the fact that conversations can simply shift, and then you just don't have the chance to say your thought on what the conversation was.
Only shift when people want to change the conversation.
No, that's
one
not
wants to
true.
change the
It just evolves organically, dude.
There can be well, I mean, unless the Russians collude
There's-
and force a change in the
Indeed,
conversation.
There's
with bots.
definitely
Like
something
what
to
you
be
just
said with regards to letting people speak when they, when they need to get something out of their chest.
Yeah.
But
of
I
course.
totally see what Nate is saying, because a lot of the times I have a thing that I didn't, anticipate the conversation going this way, but now I have something to talk about this thing. I haven't written it down, and I don't know how to use a pencil, so I'm just going to forget
What
about
the fuck? I have, I was surprised. Now, not everyone agreed with me in the comments last episode, but there were quite a few people who were like, I like that it being, a little bit of a clusterfuck. I like a little bit of people interrupting each other. Just let it be what it is. And I was like, I'm glad I'm not the only one that sees it that way.
Okay, hold on. Let me defend myself. I am the first person to admit that I like how frantic the PCP is sometimes. I'm not saying it has to be another boilerplate podcast that just everyone just waits their turn and just speaks only when they are
Why did I
called
think
upon or
that the next
highlighted.
word? Why did I think that the phrase you were about to use was boilerplate apocalypse?
I don't
question.
However, I think there's a balance here. Moderation in all things. I think that there's a time and a place for clusterfucks, which could be even often. Could
And the
be
time
every
is now.
episode.
Time is now.
Okay, all right, let's do it. Hey guys, it's me on the podcast. Don't interrupt me, please, Ben, because that would make this joke suck really bad.
Hey,
okay,
guys.
wow, that was a great joke, and I'm glad that everyone committed to it.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to say.
That was awful. Anyway, what were you saying?
Art is shit, and I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore. Hey guys, just want to let you know that I'm retiring from the podcast. I made enough money. I can live for the rest of my life.
That's fair. We all can, but we are greedy, and we want to steal the money from the poor by continuing to make this podcast.
No, it can't happen.
Yeah, so,
we were having a great conversation, and now it's back to this shit. God damn
please
it.
support my empire at patreon.com/BenSaint. I'd really appreciate that if you just keep sucking up my vacuum on the poor, just giving it straight to my
Personal
bank
goal
account.
is to make a living in a way as opposite to my personal and political beliefs as possible.
I thought you were going to
Noble.
say as opposite to Nate as possible.
That
too.
that
That-
too.
that's-
Hippo, I just want to let you know that I'm extremely suspicious of you right now.
Oh.
Because you said something which hurt me deep in my arteries. You said you check Twitter. when you get your tea, on what device are you checking Twitter?
Ooh.
What do you mean? On my computer?
I think that's a pretty straightforward question. Stop dodging the question,
Wrong
Hippo.
answer, dude.
No, I don't understand. What's
He's shown
happening?
weakness. Get him! Everyone dogpile!
I was going. In my head, I envisioned you walking downstairs and drinking tea, but I guess that makes sense. If you were on your phone using Twitter, I would have said tisk tisk, not strong enough.
Oh no, that's not on my phone.
Okay, I'm glad. I have also. You see, I'm following your footsteps. You're a big daddy to me, and I would appreciate it if your cock could come out soon rather than later. Because my phone is basically not connected to the internet whatsoever anymore. No social media, no YouTube, no fucking web browser. Literally no web browser. It's gone.
I have not. I don't even look at my phone anymore, just because it's a piece of shit.
Goals.
It's I mean, it's not aspirational. It's because the thing is just really old and
I'm
sucks.
just poor. It's not.
Ben's truly stumbled ass backwards into the perfect lifestyle.
It's not because anything that I would be wasting time on looking at my phone, I just look at it on my desktop instead. I'm not aspirational in this regard.
Or any regard.
I'll fucking kill you, dude.
A couple of days ago, I wanted to get really serious about my phone chewing up time because I have had the social media stuff off my phone for a while now. I haven't had Twitter. When I delete Twitter from my phone, I just basically stopped using Twitter altogether. I don't even know the last time I looked at my Twitter. I have no fucking clue. Other social medias have also fallen off the map, as well as Discord. I have a mobile account now. So that's been for a while now. But I finally took a big plunge and just basically deleted everything off my phone that was not like inherently work or like communications related. So
that's fine.
On the front of my, I only have one screen on my phone, and it's all just like writing apps. All just writing apps, or like my default music player, and that's basically it. It's like it's a brick. It's a brick of just pure writing, and it feels so good to be liberated from the distractions that come with your phone. And not only that, I've turned it into a pure work beast. I finally, for the first time in my fucking life, gotten what do you call them? A to-do app, a task app,
Oh, those.
and a schedule for myself. I finally have a bedtime where I'm going to bed at a single time, and I'm waking up at a single time every single day.
Don't embrace this meme of this digibro lifestyle, which I'm sure he would agree with as well. Having a set time to go to bed and wake up is just good for you.
Yeah, it is
in every
permanent,
way.
I'm pretty sure, because you have an internal clock.
Yeah.
When you wake up, you don't feel like you want to die for 2 hours.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to go to bed at the same time every day. Oh, and big thing. I have a journal now. I had a journal before, but I was not sticking to it. Now I have a convenient app, sponsored Day Leo, spelled like day and then Leo, and it is just a small app that reminds you every day at a certain time to write about your day, which is what I've been doing every single day for a while now, and it's extremely helpful for my memory.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. So I've locked down my phone. And it's really great, and I'm really happy about it.
Is it something that you like? I mean, when I ever had my journal, like my physical journal that I would bring on holidays and stuff to record events,
Famously.
Sometimes the day was so full of stuff, and by the time I remembered that I should write in my journal, I was so tired. I was just like, I don't know what to say. I want it to be like a thing I can come back to, so I don't want to just write nothing.
And ironically, those are the days you need it most, right?
Yeah.
I've had that all the time. See, I had a physical journal. Well, I still do, and I use it. But I have a physical journal that I would have that exact same scenario. I would try and write every day, even when I was not on trips, and it just would fall through. I just couldn't keep it up. I would do it for the first couple days of a trip, and then it would be like, well, I did so much today. I'm just fucking tired. I don't want to do this. I hate writing by hand. It's just a fucking nightmare. However, with this, and it would fall through, and I haven't written in a really long time. However, with this app, it's specifically incentivized for you to write short sentences. For instance, yesterday.
It's like Twitter, but only you can read it.
Literally, yes. Literally,
Okay.
yes. It's like for that. Basically, for you,
There's-
to
there was
just
a,
write small
the-
things, so you just at least have a record of what you did the previous day.
Yeah.
When I have something more interesting to say, that's when I break out the journal. So I have a system here. It's every single day, write in Dailyo. And then when I have something more interesting to write about and I have the free time to do so, I'll break out my journal. And that means it's not like a commitment that I feel bad about breaking, that is writing in the physical journal. It's just like whenever I break out the journal, it's just nonstop good, interesting things that I've chosen to write about. And therefore it feels more important and better.
The Penny Arcade guys had a little inside joke for running for a while about an app called Twonter, which is just Twitter, but instead of posting your tweet, it just doesn't go anywhere and nobody sees it. And it's
Nice.
like you get
Not a
the
bad
satisfaction of making an angry tweet with none of the fallout or problems that come from it.
You know what would be a good system? Everyone should get that and send everything they want to send on Twitter on Twonter first, see how they feel about it, and then decide if they want to resend
Yeah,
it.
come back the next day.
Yeah.
Do I want to tweet my twon't? No. Answer's all
Never.
answer
The
always
answer's
no.
always no.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go on Twitter and I'm like, well, let's try and think of something to say. Let's try and think of something funny. Usually it just results in me saying something stupid, but, whatever. But, like, I shouldn't feel the need to post anything if I don't feel like there's anything to say. And yet, there I go, trying to, like, the most recent one was, like, Jimmy Neutron meets Jimmy Page. I was like, I mean, it's kind of funny, but, like, I only did that because I was on Twitter, and I was like, I should probably tweet something. It's been a while. It's been a few days. It's kind of stupid.
Twitter's just so boring, honestly. After a while, it just becomes like, do I really want to know what everyone else is saying? Not in the sense that I'm antisocial, but, like, I've known everyone I'm following for so long.
Yeah,
like, I know what they're going to say.
know what they're
it's
gonna
just going
talk
to be
about,
more
yeah.
bullshit. It's
Well-
nothing's new there. I'm not getting
Yeah.
any, like, new stimuli. It's just keeping up with people.
See,
it's
I've-
keeping up with you guys exclusively. And I already
I've
talked to you
been
on
getting
Sundays.
getting new stimuli from Twitter. I've been having a great time tweeting about what a lefty I am and getting people mad. People are fucking arguing
Ben,
with me.
on that subject, Ben, I just want to let you know this is no disrespect, but I find that so distasteful that I just have muted you and have no interest.
You've muted me?
I had no choice, Ben.
You
it was
muted
so
me because I
boring.
made like 6 tweets in the past week? Are you kidding me?
Ben, okay, here's the thing. Maybe you should blame Twitter because for some reason, at the top of my feed, out of chronological order, it just kept showing like one of your particularly political tweets, and I was just like, well, I don't want to deal with this. What are my options here?
I make one
So-
every like I've made one every like 2 days, like one every 2 days for the last week or so.
That's a completely valid move, Nate. I haven't done it to Ben just because I haven't
by the
been
way,
on
I
Twitter
do
really
not
time, but I do it all the
apologize
time.
at
Do it
all.
the
I'll mute
time.
whoever the fuck I want anytime.
Yeah.
Twitter is for
same.
my fun and enjoyment, so I make no apologies. But that's
Twitter's
the
not.
thing.
But Twitter's not fun. I
Look, Ben,
agree with Munchie.
I
that it's not a
disagree.
good time. That's why
I
I go there.
disagree,
I go
Ben.
there to have a bad time and make sure
But,
everyone
okay,
else is having a
that's
bad
our
time
difference right
too.
there. For me, who I follow on Twitter is a bunch of people I generally like, not everybody 100%, like people like all of you who I like basically everything you do, and I retweet a lot of it because it's fun and good, and I like people to see it, and then also like anime cat girl bots. These are the things I follow, and they bring me such joy. And so Twitter for me is mostly just a great time. And you know what? Maybe I'm just not the right audience. I'm just saying this is a consequence of the, of the political spin here.
All right, the main thing I think of when I'm like, should I delete Twitter? Probably not. Is that I follow a few artists, and I like when I see good art, and I want to share it with the people who follow me. And it's like, it's a nice feeling to share someone's art when it's good, and to just see, oh, there's a new Jade Moreau tweet. Like, I like her stuff every time. But I don't see it posted anywhere else, and I don't really follow her in other places. So I'm like,
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's
guy.
convenient
Shut
enough
up.
to
Okay.
to keep around. I think I maybe should just unfollow like everyone who says words.
I mean, kinda. And I know that I, too, do this, so I would not blame people. If people just don't want to hear me say any thoughts, I totally get it. And I would say, then, yeah, absolutely unfollow. Whatever. It's not a pure, just fun time all the time sort of Twitter,
honestly,
I
I
guess.
think a lot of my disfun comes from like very structural foundation things about Twitter. I'm thinking right now, what if I had a Twitter that was just literally all images and they were all drawings from artists that I liked? And I'm imagining on that white Twitter page just scrolling down, and I just can't help but think I would still feel terrible.
Using the light theme?
Using light.
Lol.
What is it?
Okay.
What is it? Light motif?
Yeah, something like that.
I think I switched to dark, but whatever, it doesn't even matter. I would still feel bad because I just don't want to it just feels unproductive. It feels
sure, that's for
like
sure.
even more terrible than like watching something. You're doing an act. It feels like you're doing cookie clicker, but instead of you get more cookies, you
get
are
nothing.
a worthless
You get
piece of
internet
shit.
cookies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, like, watching an anime, for example, for me, like, feels like homework because, like, for me, I'd just, like, rather read a manga because it goes way faster and feels like less of an obligation. I feel like Twitter is, like, a similar sort of thing that it's just, like, it's one level easier that, like, now we have all the media we can consume infinitely at our fingertips, but, like, Twitter's faster. Twitter's, like, easier. Let's just go there. That'll be, like, more, fast results.
I
to
just
my
hate
brain
scrolling
stimulus.
down, not in like a physical way. Like I just don't want to scroll, but it just makes me feel like I'm a fucking soulless automaton whose only purpose is to
Well, look,
consume
I
media.
hear you. I still think there are
Like
good
I'm eating
things.
potato
For example,
chips.
shout out to Ukrainian Zagok at Black SEAAMS, something like that. I just
Love that
posted a
guy.
link
Good friends with
to a
that
thing.
guy. Yeah.
Ukrainian, yeah. Look in the disgusting, gross audio links or in the show notes. Just look at this one tweet. Just says enormous. And it's an old school anime robot guy just oozing power. This is what I like to see. This falls into my anime cat girl bot group. It's just lovely old anime images that he posts screen caps of all the time, and it just brings me a little bit of joy to see. This is what I like Twitter for, to see shit like this.
He posts stuff like that
That's it.
in the Discords that I'm in, that he's in.
Oh yeah,
So like, I don't know.
good.
I mean, it's good for me. It means I don't need to follow him on Twitter. I can
yeah, I mean, that's
ask him
fair.
like,
I
hey,
don't know.
send me some funny things, and he'll do it.
I'm
guys,
over here
kinda-
saying I started first. I'm
I
just over
wanna
here.
quickly say I'm gonna
just
go.
over here. I'm
I'm going.
You're gonna go?
Yeah, I
Yes.
have to. I'm sorry. I need to
Oh.
go. It's okay, though.
Okay.
Just sorry for.
Pay docked. You got it,
Bye,
Paige.
Paige.
Understood.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
Why do you gotta go? What the fuck?
I gotta go. I did say, Nate, I don't mind not getting paid. It's fine. It's okay. Have fun, guys.
But why?
Later.
Is it private? You can
Yeah.
just go. Okay.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Did we
private,
bully her
I
too
mean-
much? I'm so sorry,
I don't
Paige.
think so. I can't.
Okay, I
no.
hope not.
I hope not.
Nah.
Well, whatever.
Triggered by Twitter.
Indeed.
Well, I guess Twitter is lame. Art is lame. I hate images. I hate going on Twitter and seeing
Fair.
images that I like. I am having a great time.
Yeah, right.
I'm having a great time
I'm
going
going
on
on
there.
Twitter right now. I'm gonna see what I see
saying
on Twitter
an opinion
right now.
and having people be and having an outpouring of yes, I agree with this, and I hate you. You're an idiot for thinking this. That is stimulating to me.
Maybe I'm just weak, but I don't get much joy out of that. I don't know.
I don't think it's like a strength to enjoy indulging in stupid shit.
It's not
No.
stupid shit. It's about saving the world.
One tweet at a time.
$1,000 at a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
just
fair
manipulate
enough.
people with your comics. That's the best way to do it.
Well,
I mean, I do think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
To package an ideology in some consumable media, I think is pretty effective.
right,
yeah, that's
I-
fair.
I'm scrolling down, and it's literally all in Japanese and all images
that-
that I like, and I'm still unhappy.
Well, that's
Literally-
why I'm bummed. That's why I'm bummed that you've muted me, because now that I am drawing comic pages again, and I tweet every time I finish a page. I tweet like, "Hey, it's on the Patreon."
I mean,
Patreon, new
patrons would
page
get
up early for
notified.
patrons at patreon.com/Ben6.
That's true. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get you back. Frankly, you're one of my favorite people to follow historically. But
shucks.
I don't know. I pretty much like all your shit. As has been, I've been pretty vocal on. But whatever. I mean, you're not
very-
like
yeah.
what some of these other people who have just always been annoying. Shout out to my boy. Shit, what's his name? Econ. Shout out to
Digi.
Econ.
Oh.
Who,
Shout
an
out to
eternal
Econ.
mute. An eternal mute if there ever was one. But
Hey,
you
wait,
know,
Ben.
I like Nino, but I have muted him historically a couple times because he will go on some tears. He will go on some tweet.
That's
he will
true.
go on some tweet rampages.
Indeed,
from
indeed.
time to time. What Munchie?
For number one, what do I call myself as a bin head Patreon bin Saint fan?
I think
bin Saint
I
fan?
think a Saint head.
Saint
I don't know. I
head?
think Ben Head rolls off the tongue better. And
I think Saint head is.
Well,
I like the sound of it better personally.
What about a clergy member? That's more thematic and funny.
I
as
don't-
opposed
I
to
don't-
Saint
I don't
head, which
see
is
that.
Ooh,
stupid,
what about
which is
a
stupid.
I don't see
victim
that
of
catching
priest
on.
sexual molestation?
I don't
No,
see
what-
that
that
catching
rolls
on.
right off the tongue.
Okay.
Also, totally unsubstantiated.
Also,
Of
by the
course.
way, so as a Saint head, I always see new Vapors pages posted and emailed to me. I get an update from Patreon and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, here's a new page," and I always check them out. And I'm like, "Cool," but I have to wonder, why aren't you putting them on your website so normal people can see them and you get bigger?
Yeah,
Well-
let me speak for the voices of the non-patrons. I've never patroned anyone in my life. I speak for the normos here.
Okay.
And it's true. But I see you post, all the time, or maybe more in the past, but whatever. I see you post like, "Hey, new page on my Patreon, become a patron." Totally understandable.
Yeah.
But that does nothing for me as a non-patron, and I think you're possibly somewhat handicapping your reach by giving some preview to people in some way. I don't know exactly what would be the best
Well,
way to
okay.
do it.
No,
I get the idea
way
there.
you do it
We
that's
can
good
talk
is
about this.
Yeah.
it's like you post a page on Patreon, then maybe like a week later you post it publicly. So like if you're a patron, you still get that bonus of it being like, "Oh, I got this on the inside. Like I'm up to date with the Ben Saint lore. I know what's going on, and I'm more
That's
informed."
reasonable, I suppose.
Well,
you've
it's-
got your eternal stingy fucks like me who just will never pony up
Well,
a dollar.
that's why you make it public so that you can still
no
have
one,
benefits.
no one
Right,
can
right.
market. No one can market to you then. It's
Well,
just-
you'll never
it's-
get my money, but you will get like my support and my spreading of the content. So that's something that you can leverage.
You can get, like, I've not patroned to Ben, but like I did buy the Vapors Kickstarter book because that's
Right, and I'm
that's
more
the
likely
sort
to
of
do
thing.
something like
That's
that.
the sort of thing I'll put money down for rather than a recurring payment to buy a cool thing. So like if people
Indeed.
know about and like your comic and more people are fans, that's just better in general.
The biggest currency I think someone in your position has to trade in, Ben, is
Attention.
awareness. Yeah,
Awareness,
attention, exactly.
yeah.
So
Well,
putting that first
my-
is, well, maybe not first.
My
but,
rationale, and maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but I like and I want the well, like when I've when I work for a long time and I release a full comic, like this is like Vapors 3 done. Like one of these days I'm gonna say, guys, this Friday Vapors 3, it's done, it's coming out this Friday, and then on Friday, bam, Vapors 3, it's out.
Right.
It's sort of an event. And like I've looked at my
I can sympathize with that.
my
yeah.
website analytics or whatever, and I get on those days I get a big spike, and sometimes the overall viewership stays a little elevated after that spike, and I don't know. I guess I'm sure there's an argument to be made that maybe if I spread that out, there'd be lots of smaller spikes, and maybe viewership would grow more over the long term. I don't know.
Good or bad in terms of that business model, I know I would do something similarly because I feel so like I want my videos and like my artistic creations or whatever to be released like in the way that I want them and appreciated in that way. So with patrons, that's one thing, but I sympathize.
That was kind of like when I first started doing the whole comics thing, I thought I don't really like reading one page at a time as something. I like
you've
reading,
championed that.
Yeah, I like reading something in one big chunk. Like, the whole story is one story. I want to consume the whole thing in one blast, because that's really how it's meant to be consumed, not one page every
Here's a thought.
every week.
Here's a thought that...
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
And I was just going to say, on top of that, also, releasing it early to patrons is something that I do for my patrons. It's good. I would think it's good to offer something... Right?
Well,
Yes.
sure.
And then that's one of the things.
Well, the
Ben,
time...
just to confirm, none of Vapors Chapter 3 is on your website. None of it, correct?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
there is not an unsubstantial amount of pages that you've released to patrons. So imagine you're a Ben Saint fan who likes your comics, likes the Vapors, but maybe you aren't as initiated as maybe some other Saint heads, or maybe you just don't want to patron someone. From their perspective, Ben Saint has not released a comic page since The Champion? Since The Champion ended.
Well,
I
I mean, there
in
was
effect.
nuts. There was nuts the beginning, if you want to count that.
I don't.
Okay, sure. Then yeah, you're right.
So I think again, there's a middle ground here.
Well,
I think it would.
I don't know if there is a middle ground.
I don't
on
think
this.
it's necessarily a bad thing that it just comes, randomly at some point. Because, like, I used to, with animators on YouTube, that used to be, like, they would do nothing, and then suddenly there was a new video, and you're like, oh, cool. Like, that was all, like, it wasn't, like, a detriment. Like, some people would get mad that somebody didn't upload, like Ego Raptor, didn't upload enough animations, and they left.
Right.
And I never understood that mindset, but I guess some people are like that, where if they don't get a constant feed of information, they're just going to be upset.
I mean, I don't think people will be too upset at someone like with Ben's release model, because I think they're relatively used to like the long delays between stuff. So it's a different-ish sort of thing. But I mean, on the subject of something of a compromise, here's a thought. Maybe, because Munchie said, I think it is something of a problem. Even George R.R. Martin has released like sample chapters of Winds of Winter, and I think that's helped him. So here's a thought. Maybe either like releasing a page as a tease to give some general, maybe something like that would work, or perhaps like when you tweet, when I see those tweets that are like, hey, new page is available for my patrons, what about the general idea of having like just like a screen cap, not of the whole thing, but of like one little highlight of the page to be like a tease almost, to be like, hey, you could see this and so much more if if you're on board with this shit. That I think would do a lot for me, because I have not seen new Ben comic for, I don't know, a year or something now, and I would love to. I'm very excited to see more. So something like that might both drum up. I mean, it could persuade me. I mean, potentially. There's always the possibility
Think
to,
about it like this.
patron or just to pay more attention.
I would wager to say
that blank Patreon link is not very appealing aesthetically.
Indeed.
I would wager to say that a lot of people do not think of you as primarily a comics artist in a lot of ways.
Yes, that's true, and it's partially my fault.
Because your other work is so much more visible and so much more frequent. Ben Saint is far more of a streamer or a video essayist than he is a comics. And I don't even think that's because it's wildly that you produce these things more, though you do, obviously. But just that they're so much easier to get to people than your comics. Because they're just behind the Patreon wall. And like not as many people see it as probably want to see it.
I mean,
I'm sure
some
there's
of
a
this
lot
is
of people who would
inevitable.
want to see it more than just our patron too.
Well, it's a platform problem, right? Like my videos,
largely.
my Twitch streams are on Twitch, and people are on Twitch. I got like 1,000 and some change followers on Twitch there. They get notifications. My YouTube videos are on YouTube. They are, that's where people are. That's people are seeing.
It's definitely part of that. But
my
I think
comic
there's something to be
pages are
said.
on my website, which does not have a subscribe feature.
I think there's definitely something to be said that if you release more on there, there will be more traction.
I have been releasing my old pages on Line Webtoon. I'm trying to get on Line Webtoon, and when I start releasing Vapors 3, I'm gonna be releasing them on Tapastic again, which I do. I always forget. I have like 6,000 followers, like 5,000 or 6,000 followers on Tapastic that I just forget about.
Yeah,
and,
it's not bad.
I don't even think about their existence ever. But they're there.
I was thinking about, like, in terms of, like, websites and retention and people going to your website, I was thinking about, like, I want forums back. I want to bring a forum. I want to make a forum on apsadventures.site where I, like...
It's gotta be doable.
I do, like, most of my notifications and stuff, and maybe even... I mean, like, I have a community on Discord, but they mostly just chat about nothing. If I had them to, like, if there was a reason for people to go to my site, just for no reason, just to hang out, then it would be better for me in every way. And forums are cool.
Oh, sorry. When I made my website, like how-to sites on the internet, as well as like individual people that I talked to about it. Like I heard a lot, like you gotta have a comment section. Like you gotta put a comment section under your pages so you can see, so people can discuss and shit. And I thought about that, and
value, I guess.
I wouldn't say I have a huge readership even right now, and back then it was much smaller. And I just thought about, well, two things. One, I thought about all the shit that we say about like the comment section under a YouTube video being a part of the experience. It becomes a part of the art if you put it there.
Right,
and
right.
And it's a part that I don't have control over. And no, I don't want that. I want
your
to
site
be like,
is very clean, and I totally value the utility of comments. It would mess with the aesthetic of the site, which I'm quite fond of.
It would mess with the aesthetic of the site. It would affect the shite. It would affect the message of what I'm trying to put there. It would affect the experience I'm trying to give the reader or whatever, and I don't like that. Furthermore, I just thought back to all of the like modestly known webcomics that I've ever seen, and unless you're huge, you go to a website for a comic and you look down at the comments, and it's like 0 comments on if you got one on every page, even if you're a popular webcomic, you'll have just 0 comments, and it's just a bad look and embarrassing, frankly. Even though it happens to like everyone, it looks bad, and I don't want it to look bad.
Yeah, it makes you look like nobody is reading, and therefore it's like going into a shop where there's nothing on the shelves.
Yeah. Even if people are reading, it's like, well, why would you post a comment on like every page? Like maybe you'll have a bunch of comments on like the last page or the first page.
Well, Ben, clearly you don't
middle...
head over to and visit my friends on I don't know, what is it, like Dojin Moe? No, that's not it. Fucking xhentai.com, where you'll see just some real troopers commenting on every page. Ooh, yes, I would also like to do this to my sexual partner. Ah, yes, that also is the good sex
if
right
I
there.
had one.
Oh, us gamers, am I right?
I think there's
definitely.
I completely empathize with like wanting to have things be a big block that you just drop and it has a huge impact. But I just don't think that that's valuable.
I mean, Munchie might just be right that like no matter how you want to do it. I mean, I get that. Like, there's no reason for me to make like big videos that take a long time. It's just a mistake, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway because I want to. So
on YouTube, I mean, on YouTube, the algorithm specifically rewards frequent content.
I think the algorithm rewards that because it kind of ties into human nature. Like people get hype for regular Weagawas.
Yeah, that's true.
And when, you leave a little trailer for the last one that you did, the Kingdom Hearts one, I think. Like, that was...
Yeah.
Like, that built up hype. People are waiting for it. But it's only like they were expecting it because you used to post it weekly, and that's in the name, and it's kind of a joke that it hasn't been weekly.
Playing with the hype is a dangerous thing to do because it risks the possibility of the bubble bursting.
That's true.
You can build up hype for a while, and if you pay it off well, the rewards are sweet. But you run the risk of very easily waiting too long, and then no one cares.
That's one of the many reasons why you don't talk about what you're doing until it's like done. You don't promise a thing until it's like beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is going to be delivered.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Because if
I don't know, I should say.
Yeah, if you hype. It's that thing about like
Investigator,
when you
like any day now, guys. I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure Oh well, no, that's not.
Yeah,
never.
Okay.
When you, I mean, there's the thing. It's like when you talk about what you're working on, you get that emotional release as though you had shown it to someone, as though it were done, which kills your motivation to do it. And also the fact that if you don't end up doing it, so it makes you less likely to finish it. And then if you don't finish it, it is damaging to the people that were hyped and are now disappointed, and it's like emotionally damaging to you.
I don't know about you guys. I mean, I'm sure you get this as well, but like I love. What's the word? I suppose to a problematic degree, probably. I love keeping my projects completely under wraps or as much as possible, and then just like T-Bap Resurrection, for example, took we were not working on it the entire time, steadily, but like little bit at a time. We
didn't really talk about it.
I avoided discussing any details, basically intentionally, and I like to be cryptic and not give any like exact dates as to like when we expect. I've done that before; it's a mistake. I still do it occasionally.
I like that too. I think that Vapors 3 is going to be. I think people will really like it. And I have been saying that I'm doing it for a while, but I haven't. I mean, I might have spoken a little bit about it on a stream here or there, but like that's a pretty small chunk of the people that will end up reading it when it comes out. So I get it. It's cool. It's cool to be cryptic, and I think when people read it, they'll be surprised. And I think there's value in that, and so
I mean, just look at how great T-Bab Resurrection turned out with all the I mean the dope ass intro that we worked so hard to make, and then like the ending with our multiple Mr. X, like new characters showing up for the ending with Risky Business, and then our live action segment at the end. It was just a real layer cake of deliciousness, and to have spoiled any of like that the image of Ben and me looking at the camera, your two fathers caught you masturbating, that look.
Yeah. It's a great image. I see people using it. It showed up in the dating sim and stuff.
It sure did.
It instantly became a little bit iconic.
It absolutely did. And like I wanted to tweet like when I was first editing like 6, 7, 8 months ago, I wanted to just do something with that image. But I mean, it was not hard for me to say no, I must wait. Wait. There will be a time when this pays off.
I'm glad the conversation has gone in this sort of artistic direction, because the thing I wanted to talk about today was some data on Andrew Hussey and the comics he's written compared to mine. I went and looked at the dates that his comics were published, or pages were published.
You're talking about of Homestuck?
Of all of them, all of the things. I got the numbers here. I'll just break it down. So Jailbreak, his first little one, 134 pages, drawn across 2 days. So that was that.
He drew 134 pages in 2 days.
No, not Hippo, Hussey.
I know, but wait, he drew 134 pages in 2 days.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jailbreak
simple,
is very simple. They're this very much stick figures.
That's pretty impressive.
That's still a lot.
Yeah, it is
still a lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Problem Sleuth, 1,700 pages. A lot of them in very impressive GIFs, drawn in 1 year exactly.
Mm-hmm.
How many pages did you say?
1,700.
That's like 2
that's
a
like
day.
3. Yeah,
3 a day.
It's like 2 or something like that. And a lot of them are huge.
Yeah.
A lot of them
Nice
are
work,
like huge
Hussey.
projects in and of themselves. Okay,
But that's when he really got into his style of like what we see later of Homestuck, where he has his character assets and will like move them around, and it becomes easier to produce fast. I mean, that's good that he did that. That's cool.
And then, all right, I've made a little graph for Homestuck, because we all know that Homestuck declined in speed, at least.
Indeed.
The first year was 1,668 pages. The second year, 2,048.
Jesus Christ.
The third year, 1,005. 1,014, 1,417. I can't read numbers for the fourth year, and then it was like year 5, 6, and 7.
Happens with year 5?
Act 6 happened at the big, somewhere in year 3. So like the first 2 years
are you
he did.
fucking kidding me? That's when Act 6 started? Oh,
God,
Jesus
what a
Christ.
disaster.
So like
Okay,
Act
all
6 was, it took a long time
epic,
to make.
Like, what's the word? Epic exponential growth meme. Are you guys laughing yet? Are you laughing for these last 5 years?
Yeah. I
Sorry.
mean,
Go on.
it was very impressive, especially since, Act 5 he adds so much color, and
It's the feature creep
all
meme.
of the things get so good, but that's the year he does most of his work. Like the speed is at the highest. Like Cascade is in year 3. So
Yeah.
Imagine
incredible.
if we just gotten like 2 extra not bail japes, but problem sleuths instead of all of Act 6. What a great lifetime
that would be pretty
That would
sick.
that would be the brightest timeline. Yeah.
And then I went over to my images, because I hadn't been like, well, I'll just say the numbers first. Canon Story, my first thing, 141 pages, so very similar to Jailbreak, and that took like 2 hours to draw that in a stream,
Nice.
and maybe 1 day to like write all the text. So that's pretty good. Bail Jape, which is the big one that I've been working on, is only like 367 pages. One of which is a video game, so that's pretty cool.
Indeed.
But it was started, according to when the first image was created, around the 8th of February 2018. So it's been more than a year.
It's almost a year.
It's been, a little more.
That's barely a page a day, you hack.
I know. I mean, for part of that, it was me trying to juggle that and Hippocrit videos. And then also I have other things going on. But I I was looking at all these numbers, and I'm like, Belljape is so small. It's such a tiny little thing. I really gotta do bigger, faster work. But I don't feel too bad, because unlike Hussey, in Belljape, I got tired of, like, copy-pasting the... it's strange to say, but, like, copy-pasting, like, images on layers was more of a hassle than just drawing a new layer for each panel. So I just drew them all uniquely, individually. And then I'm finishing it off with kind of an overblown animation. It's not, like, beyond my capabilities, but it will take a few weeks.
Sure.
But, yeah, art.
I think
Hussey was so fast.
He was too fucking fast, yeah. Fast for his own good.
I think a lot of this is not being focused. Like you said, for a lot of that, you had Hippocrit to juggle. And even now, there's something to be said that when you are in the sort of work that we are, and you had the sort of disparate projects that we do, it's very easy for you to be paralyzed by indecision, and for you to have a lot of little things that just sort of feel like they're bigger deals than they are. For instance, if you're Ben, you might have been for a while, maybe you didn't have necessarily anything on your plate that you had to do that day, but you always had 10 paces and draw over your head thinking, oh, maybe I should do that today, or maybe I should do Vapors 3 today. There's so many things that you
or
could
and whatnot.
do.
Or T-BAP.
Yeah, or stuff like
whatever.
that. Just a ton of things that you could do. And that makes it so it's hard to do any one of them, because you're just thinking, oh, what am I going to do? Well, maybe I will watch this YouTube video. Maybe that's what I'm going to do.
Maybe I'll just play Enter the Gungeon for 12 hours.
Yeah, maybe you'll just do that. It's easy for you if you haven't clearly defined what work you're going to do, what kind of stuff you're going to accomplish each day. It's very, very easy to just sort of fall into a routine of doing a whole lot of nothing, but still feeling overwhelmed. I felt this a lot even recently, where there wasn't a lot of like stuff that I was even doing, but it was so easy to feel overwhelmed, like there was so much on my plate just because there was so much stuff being unfinished, because they're all just at the same time stuff I know I have to do, and just God, I'll get to it
felt
later.
that way for a long time, and now that now that TBAP and 10 Paces are done, I'm really not eager to start anything new. I really am so relieved. I kind of quit the poo videos. I don't know if I'll go back and finish. I don't know if I'll go back and finish season 1. I had like maybe 2 more episodes of that I might make, but I kind of don't want to think about it right now. I'm really happy that like Vapors 3 is the only thing that I have on my plate. And
hey, but speaking, I'm totally with you. But actually, this circles back to, hey, remember how our discussion at the beginning of the episode, I said I had put a pin in something that I wanted to say, but I had not said it. But I did, in fact, write it down. And I just want to talk about, very briefly, just in, as Ben was saying just now, that yes, when you're trying to come up with a project and like when you're trying to schedule and plan what comes next, that's the hardest thing to do. But I feel such a euphoric freedom when I simply have, intelligently or not, committed to the project I'm doing and said, I don't care. A meteor could fall outside. My house could be burning around me. I don't care. I have my project. I am free. I just need to work on this one thing. Nothing else matters right now. It is kind of my favorite feeling in the world. And as soon as a project's released, that feeling lasts a few minutes, and then it's like, shit, I've got to think about my next fucking video now. God damn it.
Feels good. It feels good for a moment, and then it's like, but it's what next?
That's why like it feels so good to be out of the YouTube rat race. The no more chasing the algorithm. The fact that you have to be consistent to
but
continue.
I mean, this is just the art production algorithm, right? Of like, I mean, I just mean as soon as like any project's done, it's time to move on to the next project, just in life, right?
I suppose. I mean, I'm kind of excited about Belljape being done so that I can move on to the next thing rather than, well, I mean, it's not like doing the animation is boring or I hate it. I like it. It's just also the idea. I mean, I was reading, like, looking at the time in between Problem Sleuth and Homestuck. It was just like a couple days. It was just like he finished the Problem Sleuth, and he did some epilogue pages and introduced the Midnight Crew in one of them. And then he was just like, I'll just start Homestuck. I had this idea for a while, and then he started it. And it just kept going. Like every day there'll be like 5-6 images, And, you know, the first year, it got all the way up to Jack Ascend. Like,
Imagine
Jesus
that.
Christ.
non-stop. Not a single day was missed, I checked. Every day there was
Damn.
at least an image, a page. It's just like,
Hey,
so cool.
That's
I
aspirational.
want to do that.
And I would love to be like that.
Hey, I'm just curious. Does anyone know, was Hussey, like, able to successfully, like, live off his work, specifically during, not Bailj, but during Problem Sleuth? Was he, like, full-time at that point?
He had
or
an
something?
audience.
Yeah.
But I mean...
But was it monetized? Like, could he, like, live
He
on
had
that?
I
ads
assume he
on
was
his
selling
site.
ads. Yeah, I assume he was
Sure,
making his money
sure.
through ads. And I mean, I think ads were worth more back then.
Yeah,
I mean, he had enough clout by the end of Problem Sleuth to start making books, didn't he?
Well, here's my real question.
I don't think
mean,
so. I don't think he made books until Homestuck was well underway.
Oh, well, maybe.
This may or may not be the case. What I'm really asking is, like, was he having to, like, do a day job in addition to doing this, or
I
was
think
he just doing it?
he must not have had a day job if he could have uploaded every
No,
day.
I feel like
think not.
you know, maybe you're remembering wrong, but I remember something about him like living like kind of low budget. Like all he needs is a computer and his tablet, and he can just do
he's
anything.
He's just like me. He's just like me.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Here's my message just to the people on that subject, though. I mean, Hussey had to work his way up. I haven't followed his career extensively in his early days, but I mean, for me, it's very much, if you want to be an artist guy, I mean, we all feel this all the time. Just, we wish we had more time. We wish we had more hours in the day to do stuff. I mean, I have basically, you know, whatever. I've been doing YouTube, like, part-time, essentially, for the last 4 or 5 years, whatever. And it's just, I feel such a desire to just be able to throw all my, you know, force into it. I feel like I can just explode and do all these great things once I've made the time. And I'm just like, but that's on me. I got to figure out a way to get there that, you know, will let me continue to live. And frankly, you know, I'm not like Ben. I don't want to, like, I need a decent amount of money to have a decent-ish life. Not that, whatever. I'm not even joking about Ben.
Hey.
Like, I'm simply
No,
saying I want a little more.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Although more money would help.
Of course.
Patreon.com/Ben
Indeed.
I feel sometimes I worry that maybe this meme that I am this not even untrue meme that I am like a low rent like you know what do you call it,
Scalawag.
Something like that.
Scallywag.
Yeah.
It makes people feel like, oh well, he doesn't need any money, so I don't support it. Not true. I do need money.
Well,
that's
of
fair.
course.
Not a ridiculous amount, but more than I currently have would be really nice.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
okay.
Patreon.com/Ben Saint is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. This is not. This isn't your
It
daddy's
is in fact
joke.
deadly serious. This is life and death.
Yeah, pretty much.
I find it extremely useful, and I have just a few days ago when I was organizing my schedule, as I mentioned previously, I think it's very helpful to literally write things down, to very
Absolutely.
much just completely black and white. What am I doing? What projects am I currently producing right now? And then
I
you
do
can
that
say,
with
okay,
my whiteboard.
Not to belabor the
Ben?
point. Not to belabor the point. I also want to say that this past month, a couple of big patrons reduced pledges, and my rent went up for unrelated reasons.
Okay, fair enough.
Save me, help, please. Okay.
Are you
save
paying
him.
normal rent as opposed to your shit room rent?
Well, I'm still paying shit room rent because I still have the shit room, but one of the guys who was living here left, and we
Moved
did not
out, yeah.
find a replacement. So there's
Tommy Oliver.
I mentioned it to him. I don't know if he could afford what we would charge for a room. But he didn't he didn't close down the possibility. But I mean, he
Not a terrible idea.
He doesn't need a room right now. He don't think he'll need one for a little while. So that maybe we'll see.
Yeah,
I don't know.
fair enough.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
No,
help.
it's fine.
Oh God!
I think,
oh God!
I think it's good because most of the time when you feel overwhelmed and you think, "Oh God, there's just so much I have to do." In actuality, there's not, and it's not that you're stupid. It's just that it's easy for the human brain to get overwhelmed by uncertainty. So, in order to be certain, just write down the projects that you are working on, and when you can remove some of the bloat, some of the stuff that you don't have to do, and just kind of focus on those things, it becomes so much easier for you to focus on. Oh, actually, There's not much I can do. If I just allocate time here and there, oh wow, look at that. I've accomplished my goals. You just have to be certain on what you're working on. You just have to remove uncertainty so you can remove indecisiveness.
This isn't exactly the same thing, but so this isn't about exactly managing tasks that lie before you. But actually, what I did the other day was just out of the blue, I decided to make a list of all my total life goals, and this was spurred on by I watched PewDiePie's video it was like another Googling himself, and I'm surprised about how frankly he talks about like how much money he has. And I mean, he was just like, yeah,
I mean, it's no secret or anything.
It's not really a secret. I mean, the figures are like wrong, but he was like, yeah, I think my net worth, like if I was liquidate, probably like 20 million or something. And I was like, well, shit, there you go. I guess these are the facts. And I've actually learned a lot. From PewDiePie, I learned about CPM or whatever, like cent per meal or whatever. It's like a European thing,
per mil, as in per thousand, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and actually, just incidentally, I don't know if this is true for everybody, but I make the most money from Australian views. So for every 1,000 views from Australians who watch ads on YouTube,
you make the most per capita, or you make the most total?
Well, I mean per capita, not total, because I have like 59% of my viewers are from the U.S. and like Australia's I'm just saying, if everyone moved to Australia, that would increase my income. So I would really appreciate that if you would do that.
Forbidden technique, PCP HQ Australia, Sydney.
No. We don't want to move to. We want other people to move to Australia because, something about we want them to be exchanging their currency with us at a favorable rate.
Indeed.
Right, okay. Something.
And maybe
that
would
if we would have moved to
in the US,
then we would get new Australian fans.
God, you hear about the Prime Minister did today? I hate them.
Dude, same.
Anyway, I made a list of all my total life goals. The one that spurred it on was actually that PewDiePie just said one of his life goals is to own a house in Japan, and I was like, me too, motherfucker, me too. So that became generally one of mine, and I've got a total of 14.
Japan.
Yeah. I mean, one of my goals here.
I'm honestly shocked that he can't do that right now.
The reason he can't is not money. It's due to like immigration and visa issues. I think specifically. Which I'm sure in time he could probably.
I'm sure he doesn't have those $20 million available right now.
Well, you know what he said? The issue was actually this was interesting. He said, and yes, he'd probably need to liquidate as something. I don't know.
Also, I'm kind of surprised that it's only $20 million. I would have guessed.
Me too.
A little more than that, but whatever.
But what he said, the real issue was that when it comes to getting a visa, like claiming your, you have to state like your job and your intentions when you travel internationally and stuff. Yeah. And so like when he puts down his employment, he's a YouTuber. And he said that, first of all, like, YouTuber isn't a real career in the eyes of Japan, particularly. And also the Logan Paul shenanigans have given YouTubers a particularly bad look.
Okay.
So this has actually affected immigration issues in his eyes. Wow. I mean, maybe that's not 100% accurate, but that's,
that's what
that was
he
his
said.
impression.
I mean, it doesn't... That's not inconceivable. That's not.
I mean,
inconceivable.
I've heard of that.
Japan's
like
serious with their immigration.
At one point I was thinking maybe I'll move to the US. Yeah. But it's the same sort of problem. Like I can't get in because I'm a YouTuber rather than
we don't need no
something
me-migrants,
else.
my dude. We've had enough of those.
Although soon I can now say that I'm a writer instead because that's a real
That's
thing.
true.
If
That's
you've
true.
got income, you could call yourself a freelancer. I mean, as long as you report your income, wouldn't that be
Japan
enough
is
to be
very strict. I mean, Japan regulates its population pretty strictly when it comes to immigration and stuff. So who knows exactly what their process entails? Maybe they want like an interview and they want to know like who you are, what you do, and like significant detail. I don't know.
Boy.
I don't know.
Oh boy.
Okay, I understand that, but surely Japan must realize who PewDiePie is on some level, not as in like the immigrations officer like watches PewDiePie videos, but surely he could say
famous.
that he's the most famous person on the internet.
He's like famous.
Well, are you guys aware that not only was PewDiePie passed by T-Series recently, so he is no longer number one.
I saw that.
He released a video, a celebration music video today called "Congratulations" to T-Series, where he snidely congratulates them and hopes that their decadent, giant corporation that somehow managed to defeat one Swedish boy, that their myriad corruption scandals and Me Too issues happening do not topple them tragically. Wouldn't that just be so sad?
Oh God, yeah,
pretty funny.
I got Me Too'd by T-Series.
Dude, I just got Me Too'd the other day. What a nightmare.
What a life, yeah.
Indeed. But just back to the point, making a list of life goals was good and helpful. I'm pretty good at making task lists. I do it not every single day, but frequently. When I have like 20 things to get done in a day, and they're not even big, the only way I can do it is to make a list, and then I'll if they're fast and easy, I will burn through those motherfuckers.
Tell me if this is relatable to anyone, or am I a freak? I think if I wrote down my list of life goals, every single thing on the list would be a thing I want to make, and nothing else.
Mine are more about, I don't know. Like, here, my number one rule. My number one life goal is to be morally upright, and I put when in doubt, adhere to the golden rule. So that's the sort of goal I'm keeping in mind, just a way to live in general.
Okay.
I don't know why, but a lot of my big dream thoughts is to be someone who's obviously I like doing the art that I do, but in the back of my mind I'm if I was a good enough artist, I could be friends with Andrew Hussey. Oh, I could talk to them and be cool, and I'll be one of those the mysterious elite artists who talk to each other, I assume.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, now that you say that I also aspire to that. To not just be cool and glorious myself, but to travel in glorious circles.
You know what I almost tweeted the other day? I was busy and didn't, but this was my tweet. I was going to tweet for some, happiness is I don't know, a walk on the beach, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I say happiness is measured by the number of secret backroom executive boardroom meetings you are in over the course of your life relative to the rest of the population. To me, that's happiness. That's joy.
That's true.
Yeah, okay.
It feels cool to have a secret meeting that people will not know about.
Indeed. By the way, but here's your visual, people. The visual is the meeting in Godfather #1 when Vito Corleone meets with all the heads of the 5 families at the tail end of the film. That is what I aspire to in my life. I want to be there.
Oh
God,
yeah. Things of that nature. Every time I have a meeting about the movie I'm making, and there's an important person there, and a producer is ooh, this is something's happening right here. Things are being said.
You talked to somebody pretty big the other day. I forget who. Or maybe you don't want to say. Was that
Mike Cooper?
And who is he again?
He's a feature director, feature animation guy at Aardman.
He was he was a Wallace and Gromit guy, right? Am I
Wallace
right?
Not the Wallace and Gromit guy. He was also called Mike, but one of the big guys. Old guy was given feedback on the script, and we talked about stuff.
He looked at your script and gave you feedback on it. That's pretty dope, dude.
and then we had dinner later, and it was that was a business trip. I went on a business trip to Scotland.
That's
that was
so
the
cool.
coolest thing that I've ever done.
Yeah, it's dope, dude. That's shit.
That's so romantic and sexy, Hippo.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, ironically.
Totally.
Yeah.
Jealous.
Did you should shag a Scottish lass like the Pokemon Sword and Moon lady
get
while
that
you're
Cloud and Hopper, whatever the fuck it's called.
Did you?
What's the hat?
Tammy Shanto.
Tam O'Shanter. Yeah, Cloud and Hopper. That's what I said.
Cloud and Hopper. Get in that fucking goo machine like all the Scottish people.
Yeah, but she's got that cute shillelagh on her head.
Yeah. That hijab. Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Sick.
Excellent.
I'm glad we're all on a productivity mindset today. I'm glad we've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about it constantly.
I just made, this is just a small thing, but I really have committed. I'm a little bit late on my new Wiagawa, but I have after
what else is new?
I know. After the power creep arc is indeed over. It's true. I've got a Wiagawa in the editing bay. It just needs a day or two left of editing, and it will be out. And I've also got the next one already not filmed, ready to go.
You gotta
I know what I'm doing.
You gotta commit to Wiagawa.
I'm effectively committing to Weagabwa, and I'm sure I'll reference that in some way.
Excellent.
It is what is happening, so it should be addressed.
Another logo coming up. I say, tightening my own chains around my own neck.
It's a totally new show. Weagabwa's dead. Long live Weagabwa. Totally new original idea
by the
I
way,
just came up with.
I want to go back to when we were talking about Ben's comics. And I just want to say...
Oh, sure. Let's do that.
That I was on Saint Comics. Whenever we're talking about something on the PCP, I just look at it, like pictures of whatever we're talking about on the internet. I don't know why I do it.
To add to the show notes, of course.
And I clicked on the Vapors, number 1, and I had such, like, a visceral reaction, like, an emotional reaction to seeing the, like, first... like title page, cover page of The Vapors by Ben Sane. And it was almost like, this is so iconic, I can't believe I'm talking to the person that made it in a weird way. I don't want to turn this into a dick sucking thing, but like The Vapors is like a real thing that is so... I don't even know how to describe it other than like iconic, like influential, and but it's not influencing anyone. It just feels like legendary. It feels mythical. It feels like a legendary Pokemon. That I
think what you're describing is that it feels like a real big project with all the pomp and circumstance that comes with that.
Exactly.
And,
And it look at this page. I have this page on my shelf right now. Like I have the physical version of this comic thing.
I still want a copy. I don't
magical.
know a copy of The Vapors.
It's magical. I can't believe that it's real.
Well, fortunately, when Chapter 3 is done, the Kickstarter for Chapter 2 will begin. And in the Kickstarter for Chapter 2, you will be able to buy bundles that include the first book if you missed it the first time.
Oh, that does sound good.
Yes, I got to start thinking about that. I got to start... this is some, I've been chugging along doing new pages, and that feels good. But in the back of my mind, I've got that. Ooh, I need to do some more shit. I gotta write scripts for bonus vaporettes. I want like at least 3, probably more, because chapter 2 is shorter than chapter 1, and I want to make up some of that length somehow.
Wait, is chapter 3 shorter than chapter 2? Or
well, it's not done. I think it might be slightly longer than chapter 2, but not as long as chapter 1.
Yeah, okay.
I think. We'll see. Something like that. Okay.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well, I think we're all in agreement that we all look forward to it very much.
Yes.
I feel like I need to make my site more epic. It feels pretty juvenile at the moment.
My site is so... I made that thing with like such a basic understanding of like HTML and CSS. I went back and revamped some of it. It's functional and it looks decent, but the editing, okay, I know there are ways where I could have like automated the upload process, but it is so inconvenient to update. Because what I need to do to it is to enclose all the elements, like the button bars. For a long time, to change a button on the website, I had to go through every page of the website and manually update the buttons. I changed that for most things. There are still a few things that are like that, I think, and I will fix those. Probably before I start uploading any more. Okay, I gotta before chapter 3 comes out. I'm gonna upload Actually, I should make these a patron exclusive. I should make these like an early patron thing. Is the vaporettes from the first book? They gotta go on the website, and I gotta go through the whole fucking thing of going through page by page and putting in the. Like, when I put up a new page, I have to manually put in, for example, the numbers.
You gotta make some sort of database indexing system or something that makes that easier.
Yeah. Like, because each page has to link to the previous page and the next page and the last page of the chapter and the first page of the chapter, and I gotta put those all in one by one. And it's, oh god. It takes, sometimes it takes a day or two. For the big update, it'll take, like, an entire day or two just to put it on the website. Which, could be improved. Something to work on.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
On the subject of character-specific interactions, Hippo, I also want to ask you something about your comic.
Ooh.
Do you intend to always be the dude who makes Homestuck-like comics?
Good question.
No, but I like it. So I mean,
Good
Bale
place to
Jape-
start, I suppose.
Bale Jape is like supposed to be that, obviously with the name as well.
Sure.
But I do have other types of comics that I want to make.
So you're not intending to carve as much space underneath Andrew Hussey's shadow as possible, is what I'm trying to say.
No.
Okay.
Look at our boy
that's...
Toby Fox. He's
Sure.
broken out, and he's the role model here, I'd say.
I don't want to underestimate or underplay how much I love Jailbabe and just even the way that it's produced. I also want to empathize with the fact that I too find Homestuck style very appealing and very much something I would want to emulate for like just the way that I work. I feel it gels with me quite a bit. However, I feel like there's something to be said that it just is, no matter what, it will almost always feel and teeter on fan art. Jailbabe is not related to Homestuck in any way, but you can't divorce it from Homestuck no matter what.
Sure.
You can't read it and not think about Homestuck no matter what.
Is it on MSPFA?
No.
Okay.
I think somebody wanted to make a mirror of it there. I don't know how I felt about that.
I made Nuts the Beginning, and I put that on MSPFA not because it is particularly Homestuck-like, but just because I found that a convenient way to do the like timeline split thing, to have like multiple endings.
I think there's like complete valid way in like the structure of Homestuck. I don't think it's inherently a wrong thing to do, to have like not just like have it be a text command parody, but in the sense that you can have multiple pages and split paths and choose your adventure like elements in there. It's just, I mean, specifically with Jailbabe, I mean, it's literally on a website that's supposed to look like Homestuck, and it's called like APS Adventures or something to that effect. It's literally called that. It's so similar.
You feel me? Probably a good time to say that, like, I think when Vapors 3 is done, I'm gonna go back and finish Beastcapades, which is something that.
Oh yes, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, I was really excited about Beastcapades too. The thing that excites me the most about Beastcapades is that I don't think it was apparent. Like, I don't think that the amount of it that I did communicated where the story was going. I don't think anyone probably could guess where the story is going. But the thing about Beastcapades is that it has an ending. It has a specific ending in mind, and I know mostly how it gets there. And I am just really excited to.
Is this
tell
too much?
to tell a story with a definitive ending, and then you finish it, and you're like,
yes.
Wow, that story went places.
Hey, is this too much?
You know
to
what I
ask
mean?
In terms of, like, I'm curious. I know these things always change, but like, if you had to guess, what percentage of it would you say like is complete now of Beastcapades?
That's a dangerous question to ask.
It is. I know.
That's a dangerous question to answer.
And I'm gonna preface it by saying I'm probably wrong.
Okay.
Like, whatever I say will probably be wrong, but I think maybe 25%.
Okay,
done?
that's good. That's good.
Ish. What?
Locked and loaded, written down right now. Write it down.
Yeah. I mean,
Confirmed.
it's definitely not halfway done.
Yeah, okay.
But a big chunk of it is done, so somewhere in that region. So I'm just gonna ballpark it at 25%.
Okay.
I've been thinking about like the whole like Homestuck Hussey's Shadow thing, because like I kind of do regret naming my website APS Adventures. Even though, I don't really...
I mean, hell, MS Paint Adventures is dead. It's Homestuck.com now, so...
It is dead, but the things that are called MSPAs still...
Why did you say hail?
Did I say hail?
Yeah, you said hail.
I think I meant to say, like, hell. I guess I just said
I think
it
you
wrong.
meant to say hell, but you said hail.
I apologize
hail
to the audience.
To the commander.
I was going like, hail. Okay, sorry.
Hail. No, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I really like to be pedantic and point out when people pronounce things wrong. Or...
Appreciate it.
Point of order, Hippocrit.
I'm like a Game of Thrones character. Hypocrite. Like I'm so smart that I pointed out that you said less instead of fewer. Relate to me, audience.
Point of order, Hypocrite. You will be heard.
I think I've lost the train of my thought. What was I saying?
Oh, you were regretting that
Shadow.
you named it APS Adventures a little bit,
yes.
kind of. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I could, quite easily just make a new site. It would be a hassle, and just call it something else.
You could just change the name of it.
I guess I could just change the name of it.
BigFloppyDongs.com. I'll be there. BSD.
But like,
Oh, yeah. That'll come up.
no,
I'm at that
I had a
website
completely
anyway,
other
so
point.
you
Work
know.
on the algorithm. That'll work for the
I'm
algorithm.
listening.
I had a completely other point, but I've lost it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We fucked up, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I have the memory of a goldfish. I have a cool thought, but
All
I can't
right.
write the. Yeah, whatever.
Well, let's
stupid
talk
shit.
about let's talk about capitalism and its many.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, back to the vapors by me.
Oh wait, you know,
insane.
I do want to just quickly say I want to hurt all your feelings real quick.
Yeah.
And just we're getting a little hug boxy, so I just want to retort with
are.
all your efforts mean nothing if you can't survive off them. I mean, you can play in the sand, you can be a little sandbox baby who works like a normal job and then supports your art on the back of that. But until you go and you're a real boy, a real survivalist off of your art, are you even a real boy? Are you even a real boy? Gib is, because Gib is a real artistic job now. But for the rest of us, we've got some work.
All right,
to do
I don't
in
care
this
about
field.
that. I've remembered
agree.
what it was.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Patreon.com/BenSaint to make me a real boy.
Fair.
The whole thing about
And keep
staying
me
in
in a
Hussey's
house.
shadow and
Yeah.
and stuff. When I started it, I copied like the arrow going forward and the text commands as if
Right,
you were
right.
the characters, just because that's what he did, and I thought it was funny. But more recently, I've been thinking that is because he played games that were like that, and I didn't do
Yes.
that. I am doing that because I'm ripping off Homestuck, not because I'm ripping off text-based adventures. And it's the same thing with like. Hussey knows a lot of code, and if I were to try and make coding jokes, I wouldn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
So like it would be like wrong. So like going forward, the things I'm gonna base. I mean, I've already written a few stories that could be like novels rather than comics anyway. They're just like stories that work. But the way I'm going to approach them, regardless of whatever the site's called, or like whether it's just one panel per page, because I just like that in general. Is that I'm going to base things off of things that I grew up with and know about more so than,
Good plan.
like, text commands specifically, like the idea of commanding the person reading the adventure is, commanding the character to do stuff. That's only because, the characters actually were being controlled by the viewers with the prompts that people were giving, and I hadn't done that, and so it was really just like very hollow, very like copying for no reason sort of thing. So if I ever copy anything from Homestuck in the future, it'll be because not I will consider the usage or like the reason Hussey did it in the first place,
right.
including the fact that he made so many pages and he had his characters reuse the assets, because the reason he had that in the first place was not because he can't draw like me. It's because he wanted to have the fan interaction be like a major part of the comic, and the faster he can make the images in response to the prompts, the more intense it would feel, and that's why he wanted to make it like that. I feel like Hussey, if he makes a new thing, he's not going to do the prompts from the viewers, because he's done that to death, and his art will be like completely different from Homestuck, which is probably why he's like apprehensive maybe to do anything, because people
Damn
know him
it!
for
You need to
Homestuck
go
so
full
much.
Toby Fox, Hussey, and just move on.
Isn't he still working on Hive Swap?
Well, I suppose he is.
Yeah, but that's almost sad to me.
I feel like
I
that's
don't know.
like
I mean,
borderline
I thought people
cancelled.
liked Hive Swap.
Yeah. Hive Swap is in it's so long and so just I honestly see it being like a failed Kickstarter, and I don't think it will be finished.
It's
like,
it's
at
so
all.
Dude.
I mean,
whenever I think about
the first chapter already came out, and people generally liked it.
I mean,
I haven't played it, and I
don't
feel
know.
honestly guilty about that.
But why haven't you
but
played it, Ben? Could it be because you just don't care anymore
Well,
and you're over it?
I was kind of over it.
The first chapter came out like
and
a year
also
ago or two.
It's not.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's only the first chapter, I'm like, I'd rather play the whole thing.
Except the Deltarune Chapter 1 was hype as shit and was the fucking dopest thing in the last several years. I can't help but when I think of Hussey, I compare him on every level to Toby Fox. Hussey, did a huge Kickstarter, got complete. He just fucked it up financially. He hired a bunch of scammers.
Hussey's feelings.
I
Stop
won't.
hurting Hussey's feelings.
Toby made like 50 grand, made like the biggest game of all fucking time as a first-time game developer. Fucking, he went on.
Yeah, but he's
already made his sequel thing, and he's working on it. Sure, it recycles some assets, but it's fresh, it's new, it's beautiful. I love it. I can't wait for more.
Hussey, it makes me want to piss so badly. It makes me want to piss so bad. I have to leave.
Oh,
I
no.
have to go.
I don't know.
I know I'm getting a little bit over the top on Hussey. It's just that he hasn't. The last thing I heard from Hussey was him making a game that I'm not interested in, and kind of fucking up his legacy a little bit with like getting rid of MSPA.com and changing it. That's not a huge deal. But then he just hasn't made anything new for me. So I'm just here like, well, I really liked Hussey, but what do I got to?
I mean, I imagine he's working in the. I mean, he did that like kickstarted thing with Drill. Like he and Drill made.
That's true. That's
made
true.
the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff book,
which I wanted to buy, and I just didn't. I meant to.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same.
Yeah. I got it. I got
you
the
got
physical
it.
one
Is it
with
great?
the spoon inside.
Is it cool?
I like it, but the things that you may have seen from like the previews of the art, doesn't exactly look like the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff earliest comics. It's more like the later Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff comics,
and we all
which
love
are still
the early
funny.
comics. Yeah,
and
sure.
And the whole thing is pretty funny. So I feel, and I got the fidget spinner. I feel like it's worth it.
Did it come with a fidget spinner?
Yeah, I got the fidget spinner edition. It's got like the holographic film and the angle at the angel of the book itself is like it's not at 90 degrees. There's just sort of like on one of the corners, it's like an acute angle. So it just sort of goes off in a weird direction. It's hard to fit on the shelf. It's really funny.
I have a fidget spinner. Actually, our mutual friend Econ gave it to me. It's a sweet metal yin yang fidget spinner.
Nice.
It's fucking sick, and I just want to let everyone know what a cool guy I am.
That was such a legendary piss. I'm honestly mad that it wasn't on the episode. I'm honestly mad that I didn't just take the bullet and do it on the episode. I did it
what
for
a
like
fucking
it was
rip-off.
insane. It was insane.
Was it just the quantity? Was it the power behind it? I mean,
both. It was a total package. It was a total package.
Was it one that was just like continuous force the whole time?
Yes.
And ends abruptly.
Yeah.
Doesn't just dribble off and trail off. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Should we go to voicemails? Do you think?
Oh wait, no.
Yeah, dude.
No.
No. Before we
Before
we go to voicemails, we should shout out the PCP dating sim thing that came out.
Yes. Okay. Thing about that, and I think this is just a me issue. I am having trouble getting it to run. I got it to run. Every time I opened it, it opens up this window. It's a gray window that just says js.nw or something like that.
Yeah.
And one time I got it to open, and I played it for a while. I did a bunch of branches. It was very amusing. But then I think I hit a bug or something, or I got to or the text wouldn't load. I got to a point where I seemed to not be able to progress anymore. So I closed it, and then I couldn't open it again. And I'm very upset.
That's too bad.
Because it was pretty cool and funny.
Well, let's start from the top here, people. If you're not aware, today's the 31st, on the 30th, at PCP Dating Sim, that's them, they came in and they undercut at PCP Dating, who was making the initial PCP Dating
Who will
Sim.
be releasing their demo tomorrow. So that will
Indeed,
be out
tomorrow.
Also. So by
that's
the time
coming
you're
out.
by the time you're listening to this, you can play both and compare and contrast yourself.
Indeed, and it's kind of
Theoretically.
brilliant. So at PCP Dating Sim made theirs legendary. They beat the other guys. Epic joke. And so it was made by No Needbra and Lumia Stargazer. So big shout out to those guys. I was deeply impressed. They actually got this thing out, and so I played it too. So I played it a bunch yesterday, and I had a great time exploring all the different paths. I mean, it's basically a game where but we will absolutely put a link in the show notes to where you can get this. So go click on that, download it. It's fun as fuck. And you got to avoid the landmine deaths as you go through, and you can make it all the way to the end. But what I did not discover until I was playing it again with Michelle later, and we were trying to do even more options, there's actually some choices you can make early in the game that affect what your ending is way later independently. I won't spoil anybody.
I have a guess. About what one of those might be.
Okay, but we only discovered one when we were playing. But like at the end, you discover let's just say an arch nemesis of all PCP-dom, and that
boy.
encounter can be changed depending on what's done as you go through the game, and it's super funny and hilarious and dope.
I want to fucking beat it. I really want to have the full experience.
Shekels for
You should
heckles.
stream it.
PCP Dating Sim. Yeah,
Dude, let's fucking do that.
it's not a terrible. It's there's some hard N words in there, but I think we can survive that.
Okay, well we won't read them aloud.
Fair.
It's not our fault. We didn't know. Everyone,
know.
I disavoww.
We're disavowing so hard, guys.
Throw the holy water. I disavow.
But I mean, it's great. I mean, I don't even give a shit. It's fucking hilarious. Every word of it is priceless, and it's just such a legendary shit post. And the opening movie that these guys made at the very beginning, the anime intro,
is that like
incredible
Gundam?
I think it's the original Gundam. I think, or Gundam Z, or I don't know.
I have no idea. It seemed
I couldn't make out the logo, and I'm not a Gundam boy. Anyway, it was hilarious and dope. Play it. Every PCP member shows up.
Good.
And it's there. It's great. Yeah, some of them are hard to find though, so you gotta put in the work to find them. And the ending is truly hilarious when you discover the greatest podcast of all time. But I'll leave that up to the viewers to discover, so I don't spoil it for them.
Oh boy, man, there's more mysteries here than I realized.
Yeah,
I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out how to play this fucking game the rest of the way. One time, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what I did the one time that made it work.
I don't know, dude. Maybe.
I mean, maybe just download it again. It'll be fine.
Maybe. Have you, Gib and Munchie, have you guys played through? Have you done it
Nope,
yet?
not at all. I've seen screenshots though. I know about it.
Yep.
I've played through. I haven't got like multiple endings. You die a lot. There's a lot of wrong decisions to make.
Yes, you do. Save often, people. Save often. I definitely encountered some bugs. Hey, here's a shout out to one bug to those guys. It's probably too late to do anything, but when you talk to Mage on the staircase as you leave Digi's classroom, I think.
That's the one. That's why I had to restart the game. Because the text just didn't load.
It just doesn't load, so...
So I guess that's just a dead end.
Probably. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, the rest of it, people go play. It's legitimately hilarious and fun. Highly recommended.
Yeah.
And the next at PCP Dating dropping tomorrow for us, in the past for you. Let's see. Maybe it'll be a joke. It's April 1st. What could that imply? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I talked to.
It's supposed to
Lemon
be
Tart.
real.
I talked to Lemon Tart, who assures me with all possible sincerity that it is not a joke.
That's what they say.
And that the April 1st release date is not meant as a troll. And
I mean,
we'll see about that.
That's not really in doubt. Like if it, I feel like
I'll believe it when I see it.
I mean,
I feel like it would be very stupid to have a fake game on the April 1st.
I mean,
something will happen. Something will happen.
I think I said last time.
But I don't know what.
Something will definitely happen, I think. But I said last time that we've talked about previously in April Fools. I know a million years ago on a PCB episode, we said the best April Fools jokes are when it's actually something expansive and actually fun that no one expected, and it is surprising and funny and perhaps foolhardy, but it just is a real project that you can play and enjoy. That's
a real project,
fun.
Not necessarily what you expect.
Yeah, I mean, if it would just turn out to be, I don't know, fighting game.
Honestly, if I were putting my bets out, I mean, I think they're just going to release an actual demo of the actual dating.
I agree. I think that's the most likely.
That I think, yeah.
And by the way, we have maybe a little bit of insider information. I mean, some people I don't actually know who was on the team doing any of this shit.
I know only one or two people.
But at the end of the PCP Dating Sim, the meme one that just came out, those guys go on to it's actually
Wait,
really
is this a
sweet.
Spoiler? Is this a spoiler?
No, it's not really a spoiler. It's just that at the end they say they're we're excited too for the bigger PCP Dating Sim. So it's like an advertisement almost to hype up the big release of the demo or something. And I just thought that was so sweet that they put that in there. And those guys might have insider knowledge. I don't know.
Don't know.
We'll find out tomorrow, and you people will know.
Yeah,
already.
I'm very excited.
You'll definitely be able to find. We'll retweet anything on the PCP at TP Crastinators Twitter. So go check that if you're if you're looking for updates.
Okay.
Voicemails.
Voicemails. Okay.
We don't have to spend a lot of time on this,
Yeah.
but I feel the need to respond to all the people calling me a fascist.
A
In
fascist.
the comments
Okay.
last week.
Okay.
For what For what reason?
Because I was supposedly anti-free market and mostly it was anti-free speech. People. Okay, this is what pissed me off. People in the comments they weren't even generally making an argument like, Ben, what you are saying is anti-free speech.
Sure.
They were just sort of taking it as an assumption. It's just like, so Ben's anti-free speech, and here's why I'm against that. And like it's just the base assumption. And I just want to say that I fucking hate all of you because
Okay.
what we were talking about, everyone just fucking jumped in logic. They made a huge fucking logical leap. We were talking about Tom getting kicked off Mastodon, and we were talking about platforms. Mastodon is a privately owned platform that people are in charge of and have the ability to curate. I'm not talking about like making it illegal to say the N-word or whatever. But I'm just like, okay, Digi made all those rants. He made all these videos. He's talked so much in the past about how, it's his YouTube channel is his platform, and it is within he does not have to let you into his house and give you a platform to say whatever shit if he doesn't like it. And that's true for all of us. Like, if it's your platform, you are not obligated to let people say whatever they want to say, even stuff that you disagree with, stuff you don't want propagated. You're not obligated to give people a platform.
I mean,
right?
with the Tom example, so I hear what you're saying, and that's not a crazy point or anything.
Well, let me just finish. So the logical, and I absolutely agree with that logic. And it's the logical extension of that is that if someone makes a platform, it's their platform, Mastodon or Twitter or whatever, and you might not like it. You might not agree with their decision, but they are not obligated to let people say stuff. And if they believe that something is, a bad ideology to spread, I think they are not obligated to let you spread it. I think they have every right to be like, I don't like what this person is saying. I don't like that they're saying it on my platform. Get out. Go say it somewhere else.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken,
that's not a legal thing. That's not me talking about criminalizing or censoring like on a legal basis. That would be totally different.
Well,
totally fucking different.
I hear what you're saying, Ben. So with the Tom thing, I think that with Mastodon, like with Tom, he was kicked out of a group made by users, and I think those guys probably it'd be hard pressed to say, are you not allowed to kick a friend out of your friend group or something? I mean, that's a little, that's not exactly formal.
It's their group.
So
it's
that's not
group.
even being kicked off the platform. I mean, maybe I missed something, but I think that's it. Although,
okay, maybe I misunderstood. But still, I mean, the point still stands. Whatever.
The thing about
I'm fucking mad.
I hear you, but the thing about getting kicked off Twitter is like, I mean, so Twitter's definitely a private platform, and the thing people bring up about this is that like, okay. It's fine that, we've got private businesses, they can do what they want and all that. They don't have to platform users they don't want to or whatever. But I suppose you have to think about, like, what the goal is. So, like, Twitter claims to be, just for example, a platform where, like, they want everyone to come together and speak. And yet, at the same time, they go beyond that, and they enforce policies that favor some ideological groups, over others. And they say, like, okay, but some speech simply isn't allowed here. So really what they're saying is that they actually aren't truly going to welcome every type of speech here. They actually have an ideological lean. And like, again, if you're talking about like a small group, if this is like 10 people and they have their little, let's just say communist club or whatever, and like you got a free market anarcho cap, he's like, I like this. They're like, get out. You're not one of us. Like, obviously that's fine. But when it becomes an issue, I guess, with the idea that this is the new open marketplace and that Twitter claims to be a place for everyone to come and speak.
Well, here's a problem. And I think this is a problem that arises because capitalism.
Sure.
And that is the fact that this platform that is, supposed to be a free marketplace of ideas or whatever, is privately owned. They own it. They made it. They own it. They get to say, I don't think this type of speech is good and I don't want it on my platform.
Yeah, I that's a fair point, and it seems like the only real ways around this are I mean, at a certain point, you got to ask, like, what's best for the civilization, and like, this is what a government's for, to keep things like getting crazy and out of control. So, I'm not actually.
But let me go one.
Okay.
Let me go one step further
Sure.
and make the argument that I think people last week thought I was making, which I wasn't.
Okay.
But let me just go right ahead and make it. You're not allowed to run into a theater and yell fire. We all heard this example because that's a harmful action that is false and deliberately harmful speech. It causes harm through, it's a engineered falsehood to create damage.
Yeah, that's true.
What about someone going on the internet and spreading like bullshit statistics about white genocide and the Great Replacement or whatever, and inciting like we need a peaceful relocation of the Jews? I think that would probably help with this issue.
Look, okay,
is that not false, harmful speech?
Okay, well, you've got to make
Does
a
that not
distinction.
meet the exact same
I think it's
criteria?
disingenuous to say that those two claims are exactly equivalent, and I mean, you'd probably agree with that.
I mean, they're not the same act, but I think they have the same descriptors could apply to one versus the other that would qualify them as, not protected.
Look, let's just, like, if you've got just, I mean, to try to, delocalize it from the hot button issues, if you've got, like, let's just say, I think this is a politically incorrect word, but whatever, you know what I mean? Like, the Eskimo population, let's just say that
right.
there's an identity.
I think Inuit.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Inuit. Okay, let's say you've got, whatever. Frankly, I don't give a shit, but whatever.
I got you.
You got the Inuit population, and, like, among those people, they've decided, we don't, like, let's say there was some Scottish people, whatever, that moved there. Like, we believe that our society should be us, and we do not like the Scottish influence that's coming in, and so we are going to enact a peaceful, because there's various discussions about, like, what white identitarians or white nationalists want, where they want, like, buyout policies or, like, relocate, like, whatever. It's just that, like, that the policy and the ideas by themselves, like, people are going to have these ideas in their head, and banning them from somewhere doesn't get rid of the idea. So I think at a certain point you need to think about, is it actually a good thing to do to ban these people from the platforms? Are we doing any good to de-radicalize? And is like them being present doing direct harm in the same way that yelling fire in a crowded theater is? And are you actually doing more harm than good? It's a tough thing, and I think you have to balance all the elements in a conversation like that. And I'm no expert. I'm a dunce about this shit. I am no policy genius.
There was a time when being on the internet and being edgy and making jokes about gassing the Jews was, it was funny because of how audacious it was, and it's like, well, no one's actually going to do it, so it's funny to say it.
Yeah.
How ridiculous. And then now, here we are in the year of our Lord 2019, and you got open fucking rallies. You got open white nationalist rallies. You got literal neo-Nazis collecting in public and espousing an ideology of genocide. And I don't know. That doesn't feel like it should be protected speech. I don't think that's cool.
I think we are at a slightly different place.
I think you get to that point, and suddenly you gotta be like, okay, but are you allowed to advocate? Should you be allowed to advocate for anything, really?
So just to be clear, you are in fact coming out to advocate that some speech needs to be repressed, and you seem to be making that claim.
I think when your speech is we should do something about these Jews, I don't know if I think that should be protected speech.
Why is it better to force these people to not speak publicly? Why is that a better solution? That will not change their beliefs.
It will not change their beliefs, but
Are you saying because it won't spread the ideas?
Yeah, that like giving these people a platform spreads their ideologies, and like they're advocating to like hurt people.
But
they're out there saying we should fucking hurt these people. Are you allowed? Listen, conspiracy to commit murder is not protected speech. Why is advocacy for genocide? It's basically the same thing in a more roundabout way.
I think that you are conflating a couple of things. Like, I don't think that genocide. Look, if you're a serious white nationalist, for example, and you want a buyout policy to buy out all minorities so they will leave your country, that is not genocide. That is a white nationalism. That is a different thing.
Who's talking about a buyout policy?
I've heard Richard Spencer make that case.
I've never heard that before. Okay, well, I don't know. Well, I don't think that's what most of these people are talking about.
But I mean, I think that there's a lot of conflation going on, and I think that the danger is when people... I think that you're a little guilty of this. Look, yes, there's absolutely violence and, identitarian bad stuff that I am totally opposed. But when I feel like there's a grouping together of a lot of ideas here and saying that it all needs to go away and it's all dangerous to even be allowed on the airwaves. I just think that enacting policies to suppress that will do more harm than good. And maybe I'm wrong. And maybe I'm wrong about that. But that is my belief.
Well, you know what? Maybe there's something to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Can we agree? Okay, let's just assume.
Sure.
Okay, would you agree with me if what was being advocated for was just open genocide?
Okay, that gets way closer to where I'm more likely to agree. The only thing is that, I don't know if it's really a great idea to govern based on specifically, beliefs as opposed to action. And so that, I guess I kind of would like to, I don't really know for sure what I believe on that. I can't say for sure I think it's a good idea to always ban it. Because I don't know, it seems like that will definitely, that still would lead to the same problem that I'm talking about, but maybe it's kind of worth it in that position.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I understand the idea that, free marketplace of ideas. These people should be allowed to say what they're saying. So
and purely pragmatically, forget the marketplace.
So that we can hear it and be like, well, that's bad. But that's not always what's happening. That's not always what happens.
I mean, you're right, but that's the thing. These are percentage cases, right? So it's about. I think you end up in a game of which choice does the least damage and does the most good. You have to really figure it out.
If the majority, if the Overton window shifts, if these ideas get out there and they get more popular, and the Overton window shifts more and more to the right, and the majority opinion, the centrist opinion, ends up being, yeah, we should get rid of these guys. Will we then be saying, boy, I'm sure I'm glad that we let the marketplace of ideas decide what was right for us, because here we are, we've accepted that X ethnic group is bad, and we fucking got rid of them.
Ben,
we fucking ended them.
I hear your point.
Great.
I would make 2 points.
I'm so glad.
One thought is that
Good thing, I'm glad we were so egalitarian about this.
Okay, I hear your point, and again, that does make sense as well. It's not unreasonable. It's that on the one point, I would make the case that I think that we are a long way away from something like that, but I understand people think that it's going to increment more and more, so I get that.
I don't think this is around the corner yet.
But it's fair to say that if more attacks happen...
It's too close for comfort.
Okay. I think that's, whatever. People might feel differently about that, but fair enough. The other thing is, I think that a large difference between sort of more leftist and rightist thinking is about the emphasis being on targeting a specific goal and then kind of advocating any policy to get there. I think that's kind of more leftist thinking, whereas I think more right thinking is about implementing a system, and again, I don't mean to load this more with moral stuff, but implementing a principled system with the belief that it will not, lead to a bad outcome. And if you see that, trying to correct the system when those such things occur. And I definitely sort of lean more towards that model of.
Well, let's just implement a system that will, engender the Jews getting the fuck out of here. We won't actually do it.
Ben, I really think that's a pretty fringe belief. I get it. It is
a fringe belief, but it's growing and it's there. It's there in the alt-right.
But it
is undeniable.
Will it ever go away, though, is my question. Like, will our struggles...
It seemed like it was away. It seemed like it was gone. It was a joke, and it's becoming less and less of a joke.
Due to what?
And I'm scared.
Well, look, I got you, Ben. I don't know. I think we've covered decent ground. I think that you and I are kind of... I don't know. At the one point, I don't love talking politics like this. But I think when Ben and I discuss it, and hopefully the viewers agree... We give each other charity in our arguments, and hopefully people see that and think that it's good, and see that there's decent points to be made on either side. And like maybe I'm wrong, but I like to think I'm approaching good faith, and I feel the same about you.
I think you're a reasonable guy, and I don't, I want to actually engage. With your ideas on this, I don't want to throw anything out of offhand or whatever. Okay. I think I've made my point about the people calling me a fascist in the comments.
Yeah. Isn't May a fucking wanker? I can't wait for her to resign. What a fucking bitch! I can't believe she made that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Digi's
Digi's fiance. Yeah, when's she gonna resign from that position of fiance?
Wait, who are you talking about?
Theresa May.
Theresa May, our prime minister. That fucking speech she made about how I'm on your side, it's all the MPs. When are we gonna get Parliament to a side? What a fucking bitch. She knows that she's at least responsible for like half of the problems and the standstill.
She's a real fuck.
This is a left turn. I think he's talking about her position on Brexit. She said she was for it, but has been dragging her ass.
Theresa May the Prime Minister of the UK?
Indeed.
Okay.
That's really funny.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
TBBBAP. Two best brothers bitch about politics.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh!
It's alive and well here on the PCP, everybody.
Thanks for fucking... Oh, we gotta do voicemails.
We gotta do voicemails.
I was gonna be like, and thanks for watching TBAP.
Okay, there's still time.
We gotta do voicemails.
Well, we still have to do the format.
More.
Indeed.
We have to do this mandatory court sentence.
It's funny.
Shut up, Munchie. The voicemails are good.
Yeah, I like him. Munchie's bad attitude. Get that out of here.
Don't be a dunce.
I don't dislike the voicemails.
Well, great, because we got a couple of them coming up for you, buddy.
Yes.
All right. Now, okay, before we get to the real voicemails, guys, I did some digging. I made an underground contact with someone. Okay, this is unconfirmed. He claims to be the Pizza Party podcast. This man has made this claim. So
has he returned from his exile?
I don't know. I was.
Has he been found like Jimmy Hoffa?
I was handed this MP3 file physically, just the file itself, not on any device of any kind. And I've smuggled it here across the border to try to find out.
Did it look like in Full Metal Alchemist when Scar like pulls all the words off of that page of that book and holds it in like an orb of letters like floating around his hand? Did it look like that? But with code?
It was a little bit more digital, kind of like you're grabbing like a glowy effect kind of thing, but that's what it was. But okay, let's hear what Pizza Party Podcast has to say. Go.
Congratulations, you have dived into all the layers of the deep web. You have crawled all the dungeons and have found the ultimate prize, the secret reunion of the Pizza Party Podcast. You're now listening to the Pizza Party Podcast. I'm your host, Pizza Party Podcast. We have here our guests, Carmen San Diego, Waldo from West Waldo.
We found it.
Osama Bin Laden. The gag that would be hidden in the original She-Ra cartoons. We have
what?
Guys, I think something's wrong.
Returning guest, the Jabroni is here.
I don't think this is it. This is a fake. This is a forgery. Goddamn
so
it!
yeah,
I could not understand any. I don't.
This is a deep fake.
All right, you know what? Fuck you, dude. Fuck this deep fake. You're canceled. Stop.
This is a deep fake. It was a deep. Everyone's trying to be the Pizza Party Podcast, but you can't. You can't fake the original.
It defies.
And you can't find it either.
I think that may have been a PCP fan and not actually a podcast.
Damn it! They're
And-
trying
and-
to
and- you know what?
I don't think there are any of those actually.
It's kind of funny how the PCP fans are either like you can't understand them or they're like American children.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I like that too.
Well, that was disappointing. Maybe one day we'll get a real contact going. Okay, moving on. Actual voicemails. Okay, here's a lovely call. You know what? I'm not even going to read this name. It's all in the subject matter, and you're about to hear it. Let's get to it. Go.
Hey, Munchie, where's Killing Code, huh?
Oh,
That's it.
Hey,
That's the
actually,
whole...
Okay.
actually,
That was a good
okay.
voice.
That was a good voice.
I actually thought that was Munchie for a second.
I thought about this the other day about how I have no desire to finish that series because first of all, Tom's
How
like,
would you?
like dead.
Something like that.
Tom like
He's
is
doing
dead
better,
in a
everybody.
ditch in Africa.
He's doing better.
He's still on it. I am games.
That is true. But also, why would I continue killing code when I'm coding every day for Endless War? The reason why I was doing killing code is to motivate myself to do code. But why would I need a show for that when I already do it just in my daily life? Sure, I understand that for you to live vicariously through me and not actually do your work and to just be like, I like to see progress made. I like my favorite TV characters to have arcs. And I want this to be spoon-fed me. I want to feel like I'm accomplishing something by watching Killing Code and not actually doing work. I understand this might be disappointing for you, but from my perspective, I've accomplished everything that I want to, and I'm living my ideal life right now, and I code all the time, and it's just...
Well, Munchie,
I want to say I don't know whether to blame you or the fans for this, but like the people in the comments being like hashtag where's the podcast Killing Code and stuff, and people commenting on TBAP and 10 pays like where's Killing Code?
Is that accurate?
There is some of it, and I hate it, and I hate them, and I hate you. Why have you done this?
Munchie, you need to make Killing Code finale already. It needs to drop.
Yes, you need to make the Killing Code finale.
You need to like do like the
We have killed the code. We have killed the code. The video release.
Okay,
you
well,
need to do the
I'm
tilde
not
F,
opposed to continuing it, but I just see
code.
no reason from my perspective.
Well, hey, as long as people
don't continue it if you don't want to. But please, just slip a dagger into its ribs. Put it out of its misery.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, obviously, the reason people say that is because the very first episode is like, we're going to do this every week, and if we don't, you must attack us verbally
That's
and
true.
mentally.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that's the.
And then there was no
that hype. This
there
is
was no
that hype
capstone
backlash.
to that thing.
This is that same hype backlash you were talking about.
Indeed.
before.
I mean, I'm getting roasted quite a bit for Weagawas being late. You know, totally fair. But it's because I set myself up for it.
Embrace Weaga boy.
Okay.
Indeed.
I just want to say
Yeah.
that the difference between this and Reagawa is even though they're both supposed to be weekly or whatever, you know, Reagawa was, you know, like it's good content for your channel. You must survive to make videos and stuff like that. Killing Code had a purpose, and the purpose was not to be a show. It was not to be like a funny thing that you click on.
I can't let you off the hook on this. Surely you would admit it is not the viewers who are at fault for believing your promise of a weekly show.
That's not at all what I'm saying. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they were wrong to suspect this, or even wrong to want it, or continue to want it after.
I mean, you're explaining why you're not going to do it, which is fine, which I totally get.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's all I'm trying to say is that there's no like I'm doing everything I wanted to do. This was Killing Code was a massive success in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so canonically, Killing Code killed.
Is it killed?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
killed.
sure.
Okay.
I haven't talked to Tom. Tom might want to still do it.
Yeah,
for
maybe
whatever reason.
Tom's just like, hey, I'm waiting for, and then you bring
Tom's
the axe
like,
down on
wait,
his
no,
neck. You
no,
kill
my-
Killing
my
Code.
baby.
He's too busy creating 3D modeling. He's doing a different show.
He's making a game though. Making a Zoomy.
You know what? This will be interesting. I wonder what's Tom's done with all this coding knowledge that he's soaked up. I wonder.
He should let us know. He should let us know.
Well, that should
Killing
be the,
Code finale. That's where you get into it.
that start up Killing Code Season 2.
Yeah.
What did we do with Killing Code Season 1?
No. I think the finale would just be like Tom and Munchie in a call, and it's like, so what do you do? I do Endless War. What do you do? I do this other thing. And it's like, all right, now the end.
Zoomy game.
You know, you could embed that in a PCP episode. That could just be in one.
Yeah,
I mean, it's in this one.
Well,
but
but
he's
Tom
not
isn't
here,
here, though.
unfortunately.
I speak for Tom. I killed the code.
Tom, what's the deal with 3D models? Why do they gotta look like that?
Yeah. What's a polygon?
I'm asking you, Tom. Tom, who's in the call right now. Come on.
As the
say
official,
something he would say.
Yeah, you've been here the whole time, Tom.
Classic Tom.
3D models.
What's
Wow, really
a Tom?
nice move, Tom. Really impressive response to that question.
What What's something Tom would say?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like
my
just hanging
bones!
out, just hanging out.
My bones! That's what Tom would say.
Stop. That's sad. I don't want to think about that.
Just got back from the gym. Just gonna have a Q&A. What's up, guys? It's me, Tom Oliver.
Time for a little Q&A. Oh no, my sciatic nerve.
All my nerves are exploding. Okay, let's
Pathetic.
God, brutal.
He's gotta lift those nerves. Okay, anyway, let's move on to our next call. All right.
How many do we have?
We have, I think there are 7 more. We have a proposition from the Zoom tomb. All right, go.
Ooh.
Why have I called you up here today? Well, PC penises, here's the thing. You're all old as dicks, and you'll die, soon. Look at Tom.
Yeah.
That motherfucker looks like if Skeletor got HPV and started embezzling SpaghettiOs from his soup kitchen. You might be saying, well, Munchie, he's a kid. Well, no, he's fucking not. This comes to boomer at best. So, what's my proposition? The Zoomer Titans, the next PCP. When y'all are dead as a dick, someone will need to continue the podcast. Who's that someone? Me, motherfuckers. Me and my league of extraordinarily gay gentlemen. The Teen CP, the Zoom Tube, the Zine Team. Fuck
The
you,
Teen
fuck
CP?
me, sex with the young. I'll carry on
Wow.
your motherfucking legacy. Who's with me?
This is so fucking bullshit. I can't believe I've been demoted to
You're
boomer.
18
This is
now.
so
You're an
fucking-
adult.
Yeah,
God
you're over the hill.
damn
You're
it!
over
You
the
lost
hill.
your privilege, dude. It's over.
This is so unfair. It's not.
Dude, time passes, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's
No.
And it's past. It's over.
Why?
You
Why?
day in the
No.
sun. You day in
Why-
the sun
why-
is over.
I would have been on your side. I would have joined you, Zoom Tomb. I
He
would
didn't
have
even
been
give
on
you
your
the option.
side.
Like you did.
He could.
I want
he
to be.
could have made
Just
an
let
alliance.
me come in, please.
Like,
I beg you, let
this-
me
this
be in
must
your
be-
group.
You would have been the perfect in. You would have been the perfect sleeper
That's
agent
true.
for their cause to assassinate the rest
For
of
the
us.
teen
but
CP. I mean, you could have been.
You've been alienated.
What's the word?
Teen CP.
You could have been fucking like they could have kid. I guess they kid next door ruleified it, and you're officially like over the bar, so they had to like wipe your
No.
memories and kick you out. You're no longer eligible. Although there is hope because later on in like some of the movies of Kid Next Door,
Remember how some adults like never got the treatment and like there's still kids on the inside?
yeah, they fought against it.
Oh my god!
And like I think
oh my god, I'm getting
Nigel
emotional
Uno's
thinking about
dad,
it.
Agent Zero, was Agent Zero, the most legendary Kids Next Door agent of all time. They wipe his adult memory, or rather, they like they revive his childish thoughts, and he teams up with Nigel Uno. That's emotionally gripping shit.
It is. It's so good. Oh, it's so good.
His Next Door fucking
he's
rules
still his guy.
sometimes.
He's also
Not
like,
fair.
his heart.
By the
He's
way-
a child in his heart.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I kind of want the audio for that voicemail so that I can animate Dirk Strider saying it.
You got it, dude.
Not Dirk, Dave Strider. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Excuse my accent.
Gross.
Okay, moving on.
How crazy is it that I am literally 100 times as old as the characters in Homestuck?
Is that that's fair?
Pretty crazy, right? Where does the time
Yeah,
go?
yeah. Feel old yet? Okay, next call is from
That's
some.
so crazy, dude.
All right, some pink otter is calling in. Let's hear what they have to say.
Dear denizens of the PCP podcast and any potential celebrity guests, I've been listening to the podcast long enough for my brain to rot and to believe that following my passions might actually be a good idea. So a little over half a year ago, I began writing in my spare time.
Oh, good.
What I have now is the first draft of a mess that I would simultaneously like to edit and release over some unspecified amount of time. However, I was left with a conundrum. Where in the world do I post this piece of garbage? After talking to my stupid friends, they suggested Wattpad, but I don't particularly like the idea of being on the same website as Naruto has a sister, Sasuke love story. As stupid, yet more experienced internet creators.
Yeah, that's
I was
us.
intrigued about your opinions on the matter. Should Wattpad indeed be avoided like the plague, or am I just a fucking fanfiction bigot?
Okay, first of all, what's Wapan? What is he saying there?
I don't know what
Wattpad is a fan
Wait,
fiction
what's the name of it? What is it?
Wattpad.
Wattpad.
like WATT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a fan fiction site or is it just a fiction site that a lot of fan artists post on?
It's
Yeah.
it's a fiction site that it's mostly
alright.
fan art.
I mean,
or
none
fan
of us have
art.
ever done like long form prose. Tom kind of did with a certain iteration of Sorcerer's Lost. I
Digi
feel like
had a
he might know
book.
more about.
I mean, Digi
this.
wrote like his light
that's
novel.
true.
I don't know
Yeah.
what he released that on though.
I
Just
think
on-
he
just
just
on
made a
Google
Google Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
okay.
the thing with writing. I mean, I don't know either because I don't I usually write for things that I end up drawing.
Right.
But I suppose being on a platform doesn't necessarily mean that you are associated with the people on that platform, but people will like think certain things if they know the like if Wattpad seems like a place that everyone goes ugh when they hear it, then maybe not put it there.
Well, it's also like if you're on a platform, then people who are also on that platform will see you. So your fans might consist of people who you find distasteful.
There's nothing stopping you from posting on multiple platforms.
I was going to say that's the solution. Even if it's just a personal thing for you to make you feel better, then it would be like, it's available on all these platforms. Like, oh, are you on that Naruto one? No, you don't understand. I'm on everything. I'm playing the game, baby. I'm going everywhere. I'm multi-plat.
And I mean, people will turn their nose up at any given platform, right? Like, no platform's perfect or completely respectable. I mean, I would suggest maybe make your own website, or maybe even just like a WordPress or something.
I mean, he's just trying to get his feet wet, right?
So, and then just make your Twitter profile or whatever. Put the description like author of whatever the title of your thing is. Make that part of your thing. Talk to other amateur writers and stuff, and build a little personal brand around it, I guess.
Yeah, you're starting out,
and
but that's
while you work on your next one. I mean, post. So that's the answer. Post it to every platform.
Yep.
Every
Don't
platform.
feel boxed in. And even
put it on Lulu, put it on Amazon, have it do print on demand, sir. You can do this. You can have it print on demand books. Yeah, is it self-publishing? Is it vanity publishing? Maybe, but it's not completely illegitimate. So just fucking do it.
Everybody's first publication is going to be like that anyway, so,
And I mean, it's your first book, it won't. First of all, it might suck.
He's going to keep working on it, he said too. It's like, he sounds like it's still being revised. Yeah.
Okay. But let me just say, it might suck. That's fine. Whether it sucks or not, it won't sell. That's fine.
Yeah.
This is your base.
Yep.
This is your this is the thing that I made, and this is what you're about, and you work on your next one, and it's just don't worry about the money. Don't worry about making sales. Worry about building a. This sounds kind of dirty I see it as it's. Your early shit is like you building your brand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, who right out of the gate is super successful? Very rarely are people successful immediately. Like an Undertale was his first time making a game, really, but he was a modder, so I guess even that wasn't his first
Well,
whatever.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the success of Undertale is down to Toby's proficiency with making really catchy, good songs.
For sure.
So he had a lot of practice in that already.
He also had connections. Like Hussey promoted his Kickstarter.
He had lots of help with that. So I mean, so the short answer to your question, fucking release it on there, and don't. Well, what are you gonna let the fact that there's lots of fan fiction on the site stop you from spreading your shit and hustling and getting that green, my dude? I don't think so. Get out there, post it there, and then if that makes you feel bad, post it everywhere. Put it in a Google Doc that you can just link to people if they just want to read it, free of whatever else, if you care about that. But I say, who gives a shit, man? That's what I think.
Maybe commission someone to draw you like a cover art.
Yeah,
or something.
Spend the $20 to get funny cover art.
Function as a cover art or something. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And don't do, if you can't draw, don't do it yourself. There's nothing worse than an embarrassingly bad piece of promotional art drawn by someone who obviously can't
I
draw.
always thought I enjoyed Mumke's the Triflers and all that, but I always thought he should have gotten a cover made.
I never finished it. I got halfway through it and then I forgot to finish it.
I mean, we had our podcast, big fan, loved it a lot, really enjoyed it. Made me super pissed, but I mean that's because it's supposed to. So there you go.
Right.
All right. Well, there you go. There's your answer. Moving on.
He would know. Ask him. He's.
I mean that's like
guy.
a higher level though. That was like actual releasing it for sale, which I don't think this dude's going for yet. But I mean, you can always ask him. He might have some.
Well, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy the Triflers on it's on Lulu and stuff.
Yeah.
And, Amazon books I don't know, but there's nothing stopping you, amateur author, from doing that.
I mean, that's totally true. Yeah, why limit yourself if you don't have to? You might as well. Just make it available.
You might as well.
Yeah, so go for it, dude.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Okay, next.
So that's the answer.
Yeah, there's your answer. Moving on. Okay, this call is from a little guy. You know him, you love him. His name, Nate Foreplay. Go.
Oh.
Welcome to a never-before-found recording of Nate behind the scenes.
Yeah, I recorded
between a Nate fan and Nate himself. Nate, let me drink your beans. Okay, but only if you talk dirty to me.
Same voice.
Yeah.
Fine. Kingdom Hearts. Final Fantasy.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
You need to eat your greens.
Sounds pretty legit.
Thank you, my son. You did well. The shocking revelation that it was indeed his son the whole time, I was definitely not ready for. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Man, you too.
This has been another episode of Nate Foreplay.
What a nice man.
Yeah, he's a good man. Please call back. Give us more. All right. Oh, okay. We've got a very special. So
I just gotta say,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for Riddle My Ass.
Oh,
Batman.
it's coming. It's coming. You know it's coming.
Okay.
But before that, we've got we've actually got some robots calling in. So first we've got the PCP generator 0.0.3
Yang
alpha.
Gang, Yang 2020.
Yeah, that's fair. We have to fight against them.
Got my Yang shirt. Fuck the robot.
But we got to
nose.
know our enemy. So let's hear what this version of the alpha generator has to say. Okay, go.
Welcome to the PCP version 153.6 edition
Hey,
for
good.
beta.
Got the right lesson. Or
This
episode.
program was carefully crafted by the best scientists the world had to offer for your listening pleasure. Ben Saint is here. So is best guy ever, also mage open brackets who does not talk close brackets
Well,
laugh.
She left, so
Ben,
I'm not talking.
What about Yang Gang? Best guy ever. Yes, the Yang Gang is quite delightful, I agree.
Hey, that's
Ben,
bullshit.
But I also hate that the laborers of the world are oppressed by the capitalist overlords. Best guy ever.
I like
Best
this
guy ever. But they take money for work which was agreed upon beforehand. You are stupid.
No,
Come on, guys.
I will get mad, so
This
I
is
will
gonna
talk
go on.
about
We just
Pokemon
got
and
over
all
it.
its
Yeah, come
derivatives
on.
in length.
It's okay. We're talking about Pokemon now.
Hippocrit. I will join the conversation now because I know something about Pokemon which is not the case for politics, which is why I have abstained from contributing during that time.
Literally.
Mage, insert nothing of value here. Thank you for listening to our professional podcast, and please donate your hard-earned money on Patreon, which contributes to the abstract idea of making more of this podcast,
Yep.
which we will do anyway, and a possible gathering at a later date.
Yep. Fair. All good. There it is. Okay,
Is that it?
Pretty good. Yep, though that was it. So that was good.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
So the good news is, okay, so first of all, I'm actually getting a little worried. We've got another bot calling in.
A little bit worried.
And it's already evolving because, I mean, maybe Yang was onto something, because we podcasters are being deposed by these robots that are just better in every way. Did you hear that last call? That was better than anything we've ever recorded on this podcast.
Over 50% of the American population is currently working in the podcast sector, and every single one of those jobs is automatable.
God damn, he's right.
By 2020, there will be no podcast.
We cannot
left.
compete with that level of quality. Therefore, we need to ban the technology. It's the only fair thing
That's
to do.
right.
Okay, but
That's
I believe
right.
in knowing thy enemy. So let's see what PCP AI bot version 208-03-30. Oh, wait, no, that's the date. It's version 208. Okay. Here we go. Commence.
Alright, let's get into this. Urban Dictionary's definition for a procedurally generated podcast is the Procrastinators podcast.
Nate,
How
I
did
don't
two
think that's
different
right.
people do the
Good
same
art
thing?
can't be
I
made
don't
by
know.
a machine.
I kind of agree. We're not at the level with that sort of thing.
God
What
damn.
if there was a machine that let you turn whatever you were thinking of?
dream about
You can do it. I mean, kidney beans every day. That's why capitalism works.
That is keto. It's not fair that people have money. Patreon.com/bensay.
We need to get everyone building themselves up. That's how we get the Starfleet people.
Real problem with procedurally generated art is that at some point it starts making a mess and you have to clean it up. Is that
I
really
don't
any better
like it.
than I don't
It's
know?
not good. I
Say
don't know
like I
why
am
so
just
many
thinking
people
about what
care
you want
about
out
it.
of your life.
Press
It's too real.
That's okay. That was
too real.
See, the algorithm,
it was.
they have evolved. Since that first robot, it's already advanced
Yeah.
this much.
Maybe we
They're,
should
they're
lean
interrupting
into
each other.
Maybe we should lean into this. I mean, we have now had effectively two entire PCP episodes within this PCP episode.
That's true.
Because we've had two basically full. It's like the equivalent of, like, you know, in Willy Wonka, they got the pill that's like the full 3-course meal.
Yep.
Like that's what these are. These are an entire PCP experience.
Just the pure joy
condensed.
condensed into this few seconds, this 45-second podcast. That's really all you need.
I really like that the topic
We're
was
obsolete.
podcasts made by AI,
Indeed.
and they actually discussed that
They did.
as the thing.
Yeah, they evolved so much, dude.
They're getting smarter.
I'm okay.
afraid.
So the thing about Yang I don't disagree with is that like if I can be on top, if we can be controlling the robots to just do our jobs for us, so we do zero work, we reap the benefit while the rest of society stagnates and is destroyed, but we can suck the wealth and the resources from them while that's happening. That sounds great. That sounds like what I want to be part of.
I mean, that's what automation should do. That's what
I believe in. Yeah.
The robots shouldn't lead to people being miserable. It should lead to, the work is done for us. Well, we can just relax. We can chill out. We can do some cool shit.
Although, okay, that's true, and I don't want to get too much into this, but like,
why are we doing this again?
One question. I just have one. It's like
no question.
If you were,
I want to hear it.
You were the roboticist. And like you knew that like if you made this robot that it's just an omni robot, it can do everything. It'll replace every job on the planet. And you know that like you will not earn all the money. It's going to be taken, and you're like, fuck it. I'm just not going to make the robot. Why is everyone else going to benefit disproportionately to my work?
Hippo. Shut up, you fuckers.
Venusaur.
What's your word to that scientist who feels that his work isn't going to be fairly rewarded? That he should just do it for the benefit of humanity? Is that
I mean, why wouldn't he be? People are gonna have to buy his robots, right?
I suppose. Maybe the robots will build themselves, and then they'll, they're smart enough to do that.
Well, here's what I would say. I would say that, okay, maybe it's bad. Maybe it's a shame that he won't be compensated. However, by creating this robot, he will create a utopia in which he doesn't need money.
I suppose
he doesn't need rewards because everything will be solved.
Yeah.
So I would still say do it.
I'm gonna make
still say it'll
a partially controversial statement that I think you'll totally disagree with, and lots of people will, but it's just that, like, if let's say you're a rich man on the top of the hierarchy, and you have the ability to to give everyone infinite wealth, like with these robots or whatever, and you choose not to because you like your privileged position at the top of the hierarchy. Here, my stance is, I think that's
and you're like, well, if everyone's equal, if everyone's equally provided for, then I won't be above people
exactly.
anymore.
I think it is your right to make that choice, and
I think it is your right to make the choice, but you are a fucking monster.
That may be a fair case.
You are a fucking demon who should be slain.
Well,
if you
all
do
right,
so.
fair enough. Okay, good news, people.
Okay.
We're past that. It's time to check in with Riddle My Ass Batman. He's here.
Finally!
He's back.
God.
I know, just what we needed. Okay. I've been hyped. So I think so far Ben and I have been saved, if I remember correctly. Okay, let's.
I definitely was.
It's you two.
Okay, the two heroes of this story. Okay, let's hear.
Who are we gonna have? Who's in this exciting?
I'm
chapter
so
of
excited
Riddle My Ass
of this
Batman?
barely intelligible man to speak some words.
He's probably gonna get mad at me for calling his riddles not great. So
Probably.
It's probably gonna. So I basically just ruined my chance of having an actual real Riddle My Ass. It's just gonna be like him specifically calling that out. So I've just ruined my entire.
Batman's probably going to be so pissed that he just deliberately fails.
Yeah,
okay. Well, you know what?
Dick-eating.
All right, let's find out. Okay, here we go.
I'm really upset, honestly.
So, Batman, what do you say we raise the stakes a little bit? You know, it is game Riddler. We have people's lives at stake here. Oh, but game's my middle name, Batman. Release the testicular tenderizing tuna. Oh, no! So now, riddle my ass, Batman. Who doubts my riddling skills? Says nigga just for thrills.
Yeah, yes, there we fucking
question
go.
posed to you. Who asked to analyze Smurfs too? I'm gonna press 1 for Monche. Monche, 11111.
Yeah!
Woo! Good job, Batman. Minions, release him. Yeah! Fuck you! Riddle my ass! Fuck
good Munchie
you,
impression.
nigga! Munchie, pull the car around front. Don't scratch the car, though. Well, tenderizing tuna may release... Well, the tenderizing tuna... we get the remaining members of the PCP. Tune in next time to find out. Same PCP time, same PCP channel.
All right,
Okay,
yeah.
that was great. You know what? Real My Ass Batman, you just did the best of both worlds. It was one of many. I loved the fact that you're such a munchhead that you remembered Analyze Smurfs 2.
Dude, this
that
guy
shows
knows
that
it
you're
all.
a real fan. This guy's a true believer. I'm gonna give this guy. We're gonna have like a PCP Medal of Honor. We're gonna have like a PCP award. Like
Yeah.
a fan
Hall
award.
of Fame for voicemails or something.
That's a really funny idea, actually.
You know what? First member of the PCP Fan Hall of Fame. First member, Riddle My Ass Batman.
Yeah, welcome to the club. You're doing it now. Don't.
We're all honorary members of the Hall of Fame. By the way.
Right, of course.
of the fans. Well, okay. There's a legitimate argument to be made that I should be in the PCP Fan Hall of Fame.
Why is that?
I literally should.
I hear your point. I want to say that because you were elevated before the institution was founded, you're disqualified.
Okay, that's fair.
So I
That's
get
fair.
your point, but it's like
you're like a Horseshoe Crew fan.
Yeah,
more so.
That's true.
Okay.
That's
that makes
fair.
sense. Well, was I officially in the CMC for that, or was I not in the? There was an official CMC for it. Past Analysis was there.
What?
I don't remember that.
Was there.
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't remember.
But you never had a
vaguely
Pony
remember
OC, so I want to say no. I want to say that you
Dragon
weren't.
OC.
Yep.
So.
He did. He had an MLP.
Did he?
OC
Well,
at the time.
okay.
Yeah, Strawberry Milk. Was
I wasn't sure how long
back
ago
in
that
the
was
day.
made, but okay, if you say so.
Strawberry Milk's an institution. Oh, can you believe that guy's going to BronyCon and not me? What a fucking bitch.
Yeah, what
I
an
hate that
asshole.
guy.
I can't believe he didn't take you along. That's a shame, dude. That's a shame. How exciting. BronyCon, August, 30th? Something, right?
No. First to 4th.
August 1st to 4th. Holy shit.
Oh god, it's coming up. Oh god, it's barreling down.
All right.
Yeah. In like 5 months.
Well,
yeah.
like 4 months.
It's right around the corner.
That's like nothing to me. Yesterday I blinked and 5 months ago.
Fair enough. Okay, we've got one last voicemail for the day, and that is going to be another, definitely, I think we can say safely, this is a member of the Fan Hall of Fame. We got another call from Them Snakes, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh god, oh he's back? Oh no, I hope he's not going to demand payment.
Let's hear what he has to say. Go.
Dear Fan Saint, I write to you for what might be the final time.
What? Oh, no.
After the defeat of Munchie, I find that there is little purpose for me to stay here in this realm.
Oh.
Now I depart into the wastelands in search of a new character arc. But before I go, there are a few things that I need to get off my chest. Know this, then. I am eggborn. You are just an egghead. At the end of the day, you are simply a shallow imitator to my glory. But I have no reason to fight with you anymore. Thank you for being my bro, Ben Saint.
Oh my god.
I'll see you in another place, in another time. Goodbye. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend. PCP Dating Sim Demo releases April 1st. By the time you're listening to this, it is already out. Go and play it, you fucking worthless human scum, before I destroy you.
PCP Dating Simulator at now, hopefully. I assume that's true, so we'll go check the Twitter. It'll be, we'll do all kinds of stuff.
Them snakes.
We'll have to link it.
Them snakes, no!
Oh, he's
What a
gone.
fucking emotional, gut-wrenching voicemail that was.
Yeah, but I just want to official member of the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
fans,
definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? He's in a better place.
He is out in the wilds.
He's on Twitter at TPC Dating or whatever the fuck.
PCP Dating at PCP Dating.
What do you mean by eggborn?
Was that reference to your egg status after the Nuzlocke, or just an egghead? You know,
I don't know. I mean, he's
okay.
snake,
Well, you know
so
what?
He
He's from
is
the eggs.
eggborn.
Yeah. Let's not overthink it, people. Let's just end on a high note.
Yeah,
Let's end on a high
agreed.
note. Wait.
That was legendary.
Thank you so much, everybody,
Yeah.
for calling in Them Snakes. Riddle My Ass Batman.
You know, even though I had a meticulous, I got to read the script of the past encounter with him, and it was all a planned, well thought out, like strategically maneuvered character arc that we specifically engineered.
I think I remember something like that, maybe.
And even though, it was always in the plan for me to be defeated, and I understood what was happening at the time very well.
Yeah, maybe. It could be, for all I know. Sorry, I'm really intoxicated right now.
Even though all that's true, I just want to say that, Mr. Snake, you're a good snake. You're one of the good ones. That's all I have to say.
It's one of the good ones. Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to get closure. It's nice to get close. Onto a new adventure.
Isn't it fucked up how there are no more humans anymore, and they've been replaced with snakes?
Snake humans in human clothing.
Like every single day, the snake population just grows and grows, and humans are getting, less and less part of the percentage majority. It's pretty fucked up.
Human bodies are becoming, on average, 25% more snake, and it's just skewing more and more in that direction. And
And he went on to have many grand adventures.
All right,
what a bro. What a bro.
People, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening, and continue to support the nebulous idea of more content, both on this podcast and in future meetups, at patreon.com/theprocrastinators. $5 for the bonus episodes. There will also be a new bonus episode out right now, and I can tell you what it is because it's out. Sunshine and Rainbows, edited by our one and only Lethal Aurora Mage.
This is the first time she edited something?
No, she's done it before.
No, she did a previous bonus episode, and at least one.
Yeah, she's a good drawer.
And go see the fresh
reason
art,
to
people.
go look at them.
There'll be a thumbnail around. You can look at that for a preview. And she teased me before. She said she was like, "Ooh, did you see the thing in the episode?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Oh shit. Guess I better go back and check."
Where can I look at this?
You can go to the Procrastinators on Patreon. That's where. And also,
no, it's not at.
It's the Procrastinator. No, wait, it's patreon.com/theprocrastinators. $5 for 24. That's 2 years of solid bonus episodes now. Goddamn. Excellent work, everyone. And $1, you'll be in the Patreon Lounge. Won't that be fun, ladies and gentlemen? Follow us on Twitter at TPCrastinators for updates about the dating simulator and other stuff. All kinds of great things happening. And by the way, someone sent a picture of him wearing, and I retweeted on the Procrastinators, the I'm the Reason People Are Dying shirt. Keep it up, people, and buy the fucking beautiful. I mean, my preference is for the group piss. That's my aesthetic preference, but it's all gravy.
We've sold a few of those. It's pretty cool. I'd like to see those on Twitter if you got it.
Send us pics, people.
Show us you're rocking your PCP threads.
Indeed,
that's what we like to see.
Show us rocking your PCT.
Your PCT.
There you go.
Oh God.
And
how confusing.
I guess that's it. So we will see you next time. Stay tuned. Same PCP time, same PCP channel. Bye.
Bye.